Fueled by commitment, it's seeing things through, always showing up. And we know a thing or two about promises here at Susan G. Komen. Over 40 years ago, we locked arms with you toward one vision: a world without breast cancer. By investing in life-saving research and standing up for patient rights, we are shifting the system so all people everywhere get the care they deserve. Because if you've just been diagnosed and don't know where to turn, we've got you. If you can't afford the treatment you need, we've got you. And if you are driven to raise money to honor the best friend you've just lost, we have a place for you here. Because of you, we're supporting those who need help today while tirelessly searching for tomorrow's cures. Ending breast cancer needs all of us. Visit Komen.org and be a part of the Susan G. Komen community today.
Every year across America, a staggering 4.2 million youth are homeless or trafficked. Covenant House is the national leader providing safe housing for youth, 50 years strong. Help us fight youth homelessness. Go to covenanthouse.org.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my run in PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Chilly afternoon out there. Our winds are on the gusty side with highs in the mid-40s, making it feel more like upper 30s with the wind chill through the afternoon. Lots of sunshine out there. Clear skies tonight, and it's still cold with a low of 26. Tomorrow's high 48 under mostly sunny skies, but by Wednesday, our highs are back into the 60s.
Weather update brought to you by Blue Shark Vodka, the world's smoothest vodka. Pour Blue Shark Vodka at all your events to lift everyone's spirits. Blue Shark Vodka, the shark that doesn't bite. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 789 points to 48,836. This hour of the drive is brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. Case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers.
Up behind the net. And it's Werenski. Now Jack Hughes puts it around the car. United States with numbers. Back across it comes. Jack Hughes wins it. The golden goal for the United States. For the first time since the 1980 miracle, the United States takes the gold. Jack Hughes beating Jordan Bennington.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. USA, USA, USA. Gosh, this was a fun hockey last couple of weeks for a break from the Carolina Hurricanes. United States women overtime gold medal match victory over Canada. And I said, I hope the men have something to match. They said, we'll have what they just had. Overtime, gold medal game, victory over Canada. We'll talk about it, and you can talk about it and anything else you have going on in sports, whatever takes you have, college basketball, Carolina Hurricanes as they start back up this week, the Olympics, obviously, whatever you want to talk about. We'll open up the phone lines at 4:15. I'm excited. A little over an hour from now. At 4:15, we will open up the phone lines for a Monday Soundoff, and I look forward to hearing from all of you. But I also look forward to, even more immediately, getting to the Big 3 at 3. I'm Tim Donnelly. That's Dennis Cox producing the show. And this is the Big 3 at 3. Number 1. Team USA men's hockey. Overtime game winner from Jack Hughes to beat Canada to claim our spot at the top of the mountain. The hockey world, both men's and women's, comes through the United States.
Our sport.
Our sport? It's what you do best, Canada? Really? That's what you put all your effort into? Huh. I'm being jokey, but it's true, right? So the winner goes the spoils. The winner gets to write history. That's always been the case, and the United States won the game. Are there some shout-outs that need to take place? Yes. Are they shout-outs that I want to get out into the world and then I can get back to them being the enemy for their NHL clubs? Connor Hellebuyck, let's goodness go. Broke the record for most saves in a single gold medal match with NHL players. 41 of 42 shots turned back. And these aren't just any shots. These are shots from McDavid, McKinnon, Celebrini, Makar, although one did sneak by. It is a great day for Hellebuyck. It is a great day for Jack Hughes. It is a great day for Carolina Hurricanes' Jacob Slavin. Mr. Gold Medal Slavin to you. I do question what his role is in the celebrations that are going on, but his role on the ice was very simple. Shut down whoever else was playing for Canada when he was on the ice. And he did that. It was really fun. I will, and I'm only bringing this up because it was brought up so many times to me. I don't care that it was a 3-on-3 overtime win. Canada, you can complain about it all you want. I don't care if you think your team is better. I don't care if you think the only reason U.S. won was because of Hellebuyck and net. I don't care. The only thing that matters in competition is who scores more points, more goals, more runs, whatever the more, I don't know, tries. Whatever the sport is, the final score, the scoreboard tells you who won the game. The United States won the game. They get the gold medal. And if you want to go into any other context, it just doesn't make sense. United States, let's go. That's number 1. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
Everything I just said about Canada, but about Michigan basketball in relation to Duke. I'm only half kidding there. Duke beat Michigan over the weekend. It was a game that was built up as this crazy, unbelievable regular season matchup, and I do think it was, right? And I do think it was. But it was a game that non-conference games inherently mean less, right? They don't impact your ACC standings for the ACC tournament. I don't see a huge difference between number 1 and number 3 when it gets to seeding time, right? They're all number 1 seeds. But I didn't realize how much maybe of lingering the last couple of years ACC distrust there was, or even Duke distrust there was this year. Right, because you look at the pretty much every analytics says Duke is awesome, right? And it says the ranked opponent wins and the quad 1 wins and all of these things that Cameron Boozer, advanced analytics, and it's all there. Yet there was a lot of surprise that Duke won that game. They led for darn near the whole second half was just them methodically taking apart Michigan. Elliot Cadeau did not have a great game. I mess up his name. Yaxel in the second half was not the same player he was in the first half. And then I'm on ESPN today, and the headline is Duke stuns Michigan. I'm like, stunned.
They're ranked 3rd.
They were like a 2.5-point dog when the line stunned by being the better team pretty much the entire game. Stunned. Their best player was in foul trouble for 3.5 of the last 7 minutes. Couldn't play. Stunned. No, it's not stunned. So I guess they needed that game to kind of re-announce their presence. They have the most top 25 wins in college basketball. They have the most top ties, actually, I should say. The 78-79 Duke team for program record for most ranked wins in a season. Right, I guess they needed this game to announce it to everybody else. And there were a lot of really good things in the game. I think it's good for the top of the ACC that they got a win over the top of the Big Ten, just for that kind of what we're talking about, solidifying that the ACC is different this year, that the ACC is better this year. And then I think it played out exceptionally for Duke's confidence internally, even with something like Cameron Boozer having to go out for a big stretch of the second half with foul trouble, right? Because now, if that happens again, and it's not outside the realm of possibility, right? If he gets matched up with another really good big and gets a little ticky-tacky on the foul calls or on his footwork and things that prevent foul calls, and he has to miss 5 minutes in a clutch game in the ACC or NCAA tournament, you can lean on this game and say, hey, you remember when we were playing the number one team in the country and didn't miss a beat when Cameron Boozer went to the bench? Yeah, let's do that now, right? Let's lean on that now. That's important. It's really important, actually. And then once he got back in the game, he was pretty dominant, right? They did run the plays for him. They did give him an opportunity to finish, and he did. Drew fouls, kind of unlike we've seen, the Carolina game where they had a few opportunities for him to maybe ice it, and he wasn't able to. He did so against Michigan. John Shire today spoke with the media. Here's what he had to say about Cam Boozer staying poised in big games.
Yeah, it's helped a lot. I mean, I just think he's wired for it. He lives it. He lives it. He absolutely is. He's incredibly prepared, going to the games of understanding the different coverages he can see. I mean, we've seen so many different defenses, whether it's doubles or single coverage or, heavy plugs, whatever it is. I credit his preparation, and I credit the fact that he just lives it, every single day.
I've said this a bit. There's analytics that say the quote-unquote clutch gene doesn't really exist, right? A 40% three-point shooter in the clutch probably shoots 40%, and that's just kind of how it goes. I disagree. I think it's a comfort thing. I think, pulse gets high, you often lose. Cameron Boozer's been playing national-level basketball for a long time. We'll talk more about that game later. That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
Henry Vesar, it is a big weekend for your confidence, huh? Carolina with you, pretty good. Beat Syracuse by a bunch. You had a really good day offensively, efficient day offensively, coming back from the injury. Apparently a true game-time decision for Henry Vesar, and the game-time decision was, yep, go ahead and play. And that point, pretty well made, right? If it's the cynical, I always say it's the part of your brain that you try to hush as an athlete. But if you don't play and the team gets better, you feel a little bummed, right? I'm out with an injury. I'm going to be back next week. And your offense breaks records. It's like, darn. But if you leave, they look awful. You come back, you win the game by double figures. It's kind of like, good for Henry Vesar's confidence. I will say this, Syracuse, not the toughest test you have on your schedule, playing tonight versus Louisville. Which even with the updated AP poll earlier today is a top 25 matchup. It's number 18 for UNC against number 24 Louisville. That is a much more serious matchup, right? So we'll see how much better they are with Vesar because Louisville will be a much better test. And they're actually, I still don't know if they're, the second best team in the ACC like they were billed preseason, but they've been playing better as of late. Michael Brown Jr., their version of the stud freshman, who actually probably would be getting a lot more hype if there weren't 10 unbelievable freshmen across the country. Mm-hmm. He might be around the 10th best, but in other years he might be the 3rd.
Also, it's been hurt quite a bit.
And unless they're facing NC State, hasn't shot the 3 as well as you were expecting. But it's Louisville is a real test for UNC tonight. It's also a real opportunity, right, to go get a statement win. If you win against Louisville without Caleb Wilson, and the committee, as the mock exercise by the media told us last week, judges Carolina when it comes to seeding and inclusions and everything as if Caleb Wilson is healthy. Well, if they're good enough to beat Louisville without him, and they're assuming that you add a healthy Caleb Wilson, it's a really good resume booster for seeding and just how the world looks at you.
You're undefeated at home this year, by the way, Carolina.
Wow. And this is a weird one right? Because they were going to have the jersey retirement ceremony for R.J. Davis at half, and they were going to do all this. Turns out with the travel and the weather, they're postponing that. So, people would have to go through airports that are not going to be easy to go through. So there's movements, there's weather, there's this, there's that. Compartmentalize, go out there, take care of business against Louisville, and you'll be mighty happy with what it does to your standings nationally. That is the Big 3 at 3 here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. We will come back and talk USA Olympic hockey, what the entire tournament does for some of the guys that are on the Carolina Hurricanes and are hopefully on their way back and ready to play soon. But we'll also hear some audio from the biggest story makers for for the United States. Stick around. That's coming up next. It is Heart Health Month, and I'm here with Bethany Usowitz. She is from WakeMed Cardiac Rehab, where she is an exercise physiologist. She's here to answer some questions for us, like what is cardiac rehab and what does it all entail?
Yeah, big question, cardiac rehab. It's rehabilitation. So typically post-cardiac event or post-surgery, people are going to come and learn how to exercise, how to return to their day-to-day lives. But how do we also educate on lifestyle changes so we can be preventative in the future? Dietitians, stress counselors, nurses, and exercise physiologists all work together to get your heart back healthy.
When you say cardiac event, what does that mean?
So a heart attack is typically a heart event that we're looking at, but also post-cardiac surgery. So someone doesn't have to have a heart attack to participate in cardiac rehab.
For those questions and many more answers like it, please learn more at WakeMed Cardiac Rehab and visit wakemed.org.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or price stopped. Opt out.
Hey, man, how did the date go?
I had to cancel. I don't get paid until Friday.
You didn't know that you can get up to a $750 paycheck advance with the current app?
Where was that information yesterday?
Just text them. See if you qualify. $750? Boom. And right now, they're offering a $75 bonus when you set up an eligible direct deposit.
Think I should call her back?
Yeah.
Need money before payday? Current has you covered. Set up an eligible direct deposit to see if you qualify for a paycheck advance of up to $750. Hurry and receive an extra $75 sign-up bonus right now. Text WORTH to 323232. That's WORTH to 323232. WORTH to 323232.
Paycheck advance is offered by FindCo Advance LLC, a financial technology company, not an FDIC-insured bank. Eligibility and available amounts may vary and are subject to change at any time. For full terms and conditions, visit current.com/radio or call 1-888-851-3177 for more information.
Overtime, anything can happen. I mean, they have very skilled players. We have very skilled players. It's just up and down the rink, kind of like a little grudge match, like who's going to make the first mistake, who's going to give up the first odd man rush, and just a good play by Larks and Z getting up the ice, and then obviously Z found me.
Jack Hughes, American hero. Gosh, that goal, unbelievable. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. United States beat Canada. By the way, we have a Monday Soundoff coming up at 4:15 for your thoughts on the game. I want to play some audio for you, but first, I want to send a warning, perhaps, to Canada and the world.
Okay.
This is just a start. This is just a start. If you pay attention to international sports, if you pay attention to the cycles of sport, a win like this is awesome right now. We're going to celebrate. We're going to talk our trash. Ha, ha, ha. Take that, Canada. Take that, world. We're the hockey capital. But it really won't be felt for about 15 years. Right? Because an event like that, similar to the 99 World Cup with Brandi Chastain ripping the shirt off and Mia Hamm and crew, similar to perhaps the Dream Team and what that did almost internationally, right? Where they brought the NBA players and Jordan and all of them to a international event. And then all of a sudden international basketball, whoa, look at all these players all over the place. Or Canada basketball is actually much better now than it was 30 years ago, and it's pretty much solely attributed to the Vince Carter Vinsanity run for the Toronto Raptors because suddenly it became really cool in Canada to play basketball, and thus R.J. Barrett, right? Andrew Wiggins, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, like a whole generation was brought up with that. So I actually found I didn't find it. It was going viral, but I stumbled upon it. A tweet from Craig Custance from The Athletic. He tweeted on January 24th, 2011. Look out, 2026 Olympics. So 15 years ago. Look out, 2026 Olympics. USA Hockey's 8 and under membership has reached 100,000 for the first time ever. End tweet. That tweet was almost exactly, nearly exactly, 1 year after the gold medal game where the United States and Canada faced off in Vancouver in the 2010 Olympics, when Sidney Crosby for Canada scored the golden goal in overtime as a 22-year-old prodigy. Right? So there was a super buzzworthy overtime gold medal game between the U.S. and Canada 15 years later, after that obviously led to a influx in interest in ice hockey. 15 years later, we won the gold. Now imagine that same boost, but multiplied a couple times because we scored the golden goal and not Canada. How many kids right now, and I'm not saying 18-year-olds, sometimes described as kids, how many kids, the elementary school kids, are out in their driveway right now with a hockey stick firing at the garage door, denting that thing up, and pretending they are Jack Hughes, pretending they are Quinn Hughes, pretending they are any of the members of Team USA. Matt Boldy. It's not the end. It's not the final. It's the buildup. It's only going to get better from here for USA Hockey. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's hear from some of the impact decision makers and performers from the Team USA Canada game. We'll start with a United States player. Let's go to Quinn Hughes. This is one of the defensemen for the Team USA, scored a goal to advance out of the quarterfinals in overtime. Quinn Hughes on how staying in the Olympic Village, the entire team did, built camaraderie.
I don't know if it played a part in us winning, but we were so close. It felt like a family, and I was able to room with Jack for the 2 weeks or whatever it was, and it was very special for me. And right across the hall with the Tchucks, and they left their door open the entire 2 weeks. They never closed it. And just to have all the guys there on the same floor was special. And we'd always hang out in the cafeteria together and meet different athletes and whatnot. And spending time in the village with these guys, it was one of my favorite experiences of this whole thing. And whether we stayed in the village or not, you still got to go out there and perform. But for me, I really enjoyed the village.
Obviously, he was asked about it, but I do think it's a point Canada didn't. Right? They stayed in the Players Association super fancy hotel. Just in a way that you really can't apply to any of these teams because they're all superstars. USA was a little bit more blue collar, right? A little bit more put the work in, a little bit less expecting. These are the narratives that can be written in hindsight because obviously if they didn't score the goal in overtime, we wouldn't be talking about it. Let's hear from the Team Canada coach, John Cooper, who after the game made waves with his thoughts on the 3-on-3 overtime format that obviously Team USA scored within to win the gold medal.
You take 4 players off the ice, now hockey's not hockey anymore. There's a reason overtime and shootouts are in play. It's all TV driven and, to end games, so there's not, a long time. There's a reason it's not in the Stanley Cup finals or playoffs because, it gets ended in 5. But it's still skilled players out there making skilled plays. And the U.S. team has some skilled players, and, as do we. And they made one more play than we did in overtime. And you have to tip your cap to them. That's it's still a competitive nature out there, and it's different. It's different hockey. There's no question. Players are put in little different situations, but like I said, we didn't score on our chances, and they scored in theirs.
The 3-on-3 discourse is unbelievably frustrating. I won't even argue with anyone that says 3-on-3 isn't real hockey, right? We've maybe everyone has made those jokes, right? Maybe everyone has made the Rod Brindamore style shootout comments about we lost the skills competition. Fine. Let's all pretend like we agree that 3-on-3 is a different sport. It's not hockey. Well, you went into the games knowing that a gold medal might be decided by 3-on-3, the gimmick, the not hockey. So prepare to make sure you have 3-on-3 in your bag, which you would not have changed a darn thing. McKinnon, McCarr, and of course McDavid probably would be the top 3 picks in a draft for 3-on-3. You lost anyway. Going like, the United States took advantage of the way everyone knew the rules would be set up is not an insult. It's a compliment. And we could go, like, all the jokes could be like, you know what? The Canadians actually had 5-on-3 for a good chunk of the third period. 5-on-3. Couldn't score. So you wanted 5-on-5? Come on. Like, what are we doing? Griping about the rules when everybody knew what the rules were going in, soft. Mike Sullivan from the other side, the other bench, talked about the performance of Connor Hellebuck and net. This one is an all-timer.
Well, he was a hero tonight for our team, without a doubt. He made a lot of timely saves throughout the course of the game. I think Connor was part of the foundation of this group from the get-go, dating back to the Four Nations and throughout the course of this tournament. Just a high-stakes player in a high-stakes environment. I think that's when players build their legacy, and Connor certainly did that tonight.
Look at that. The fascinating part of the Hellebuck discourse is he has maybe a reputation for not showing up in the biggest games, and pretty much everyone going into the gold medal match was like, well, Hellebuck's going to have the game of his life, which is a bit harrowing, right? When the guy who has the reputation for not showing up in those types of games, you're like, well, he needs to have the best game in one of those types of games that he has a reputation for not showing up for. But he did it. That's why you don't play the games on paper. Listen, everybody that follows hockey, even casually, was nervous. Maybe even a bit pessimistic for the U.S. chances because of just what these teams look like on paper. But that's why you don't play the games on paper. That's why you put a puck on the ice and you skate for 60 minutes or more to find out who the best team is. That's why you do it. Or else we would just have some analytics person plug a bunch of stuff into some calculators and then tell us who the gold medalist is. That's not how you do it. Jacob Slavin, gold medal. Slavin, laying, like, the funny part is you just can tell who doesn't ever, and I'm not blaming them for it, but who doesn't ever pay attention to Carolina Hurricanes games. When they act surprised that Slavin is like a lockdown defender, or wow, what people don't talk enough about. I'm like, well, that just means you're not watching, right? Penalty kill, key penalty, big part, key penalty kill in a key part of the game, and Slavin's laying down to block shots. Yep, exactly. That's exactly what I would have predicted would happen. He's not going to be the flashiest. He's not going to be the guy that gets the interviews on NBC after the game. He's just going to be the guy that's responsible for making sure the other team's best players don't score. Seth Jarvis for Team Canada. 7 minutes and 59 seconds of great experience in the final that hopefully he can bring back and use as a Carolina Hurricane. And Sebastian Aho completed the podium trifecta for the Canes, which they did also in 2010. It seems like that should be more rare to have a Carolina Hurricane in gold, silver, and bronze. They did in 2010. Like that's not that long ago in Olympic terms. But Aho with the bronze, 4 goals in 6 games, 2 assists as well, +4 rating. I'll say this a bunch of times. I'm looking forward to Aho post-Olympics.
He had a gold in that bronze medal game.
Yes, he did.
Started the scoring.
Yes, he did. And Mikko Rantanen didn't play in that bronze medal game. Aho was very much the centerpiece. He was double shifting. He was playing a lot more. It was a true Aho-led game. And like I said, I think there's going to be some everything fuzzy coming into picture for Aho over the next 2.5, 3 years. And sometimes Olympics have that impact. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the Dean's List coming up next and a final recap of the medals. A final, all in, which records were broken, recap of the medals from the Winter Games. But before we get to any of that, Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. There are some reports out there that rates are dropping. I don't pretend to be an expert, but I can tell you when mortgage rates, when interest rates start dropping, everybody gets a little excited. And it's where I hope you've been listening to me when I tell you to go to Miller Lending and get a no-cost loan, because then when rates drop and you want to refinance, you don't feel like you're throwing away all of the closing costs and fees you had to pay when you originally got your mortgage or when you refied last time, right? Because with Miller Lending, no-cost loans, no costs, no fees, no closing costs, none of that hidden surcharge or anything like that. When you need to refi or when you want to refi because rates are dropping, you do so and you don't feel like you wasted all the money buying down rates and all that stuff last time. So check the rates, call up Miller Lending, find out what they can get you on the market. And if it's lower than your current rate, bada boom, bada bang, lower monthly payment, and you don't need to pay all those closing costs. It's that simple. Just get the lower monthly payment. Who doesn't want that? Give them a call, 919-447-3377. They might be able to save you money right now. Like, just make a call, 919-447-3377, or visit them online at millerlending.com, especially if you locked in your mortgage at the height of the market 2.5 years ago. Again, millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We'll take a break. When we come back, the Dean's List and that all-important final medal count. Stick around.
Hello, I'm John Heister for John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Varina. And people are asking us, how are you selling so many cars all of a sudden? Well, did you know that the Beltline has opened up the outer loop? We're only 28 minutes from Knightdale. We're only 19 minutes from Clayton and 15 minutes from Apex. We're now the most convenient Chevrolet dealership to reach in the Triangle. It's just one more reason to get off your keister and come to Heister.
Now at John Heister Chevrolet, get $4,000 off a new 26 Traverse or 26 Equinox. See dealer for details. Together, let's drive.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
On the way. Got them both. Cold-blooded. And a timeout taken by John Shire. We'll break for 30.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We will get to the Dean's List. And we will, even 45 minutes from now, hear from all of you with a Monday Soundoff, where we open up the Heister Automotive Group hotline for all of your reactions to what's happening in the sports world. Could be Canes, could be Winter Games, could be college basketball, could be off-season football, Combine is this week. Whatever that is, whatever you want to talk about, we'll open up the phone lines at 4:15. Right now, it is time for the final tallied medal count, the Wake Med Winter Games medal count from Italy, and I can confirm that a bunch of records were broken. We'll start with the overall records. Norway broke the record for most gold medals at a single Winter Games with 17. With 18. The United States, actually, I want to make sure here because I have it written down two different ways in my notes. They broke the record, I know that much. Single Winter Games, the medal count is, yes, 18, exactly. I think the old record was 17. Norway broke the record. They have 18 gold medals. The United States is in second, or finished in second with 12 medals, which is a United States record. That is the most gold medals that we have won in a single Winter Games. Italy, the host country, finished in third with 10. In total medals, Norway led the way with 41. The United States second, 33. And in the exact same order, Italy was in third in total medals with 30. So the United States solidly in second in both men's and women's. The combined is what I should say, total medals. There's also some discourse going on about the premier events, right? Both hockeys, teams skating, some of the bigger, flashier headliners were the United States bread and butter. Meanwhile, Norway maybe dominated on the fringes of the premier events. But hey, that's just the conversation out there. I'm not here to pass that along or not. What I will say is 41 medals, Norway led the way. Do you know what the Summer Olympics medal count leader was? It was the United States with 126. There were 329 summer events, just 116 winter events. That is just an absurd difference to me. Let's get 17 more distances of cross-country skiing out there.
And then do relays for all of them.
Yeah, exactly. I do want to shout out the gold medal winners for the United States. Breezy Johnson, women's downhill skiing. Team figure skating, as I mentioned. Elizabeth Lemley, women's ski moguls. Jordan Stolz in both the 1,000 meters and 500 meters speed skating, men's speed skating. Alana Myers-Taylor, women's monobobsled. Michaela Schifrin, women's skiing slalom. Women's ice hockey. Alyssa Liu, women's figure skating. Alex Ferrara, men's ski halfpipe. Mixed teams ski aerials and men's ice hockey. Good for 12 total gold. Congratulations to all of you.
Did you mention women's ice hockey?
I did.
Okay.
I did. They were in chronological order of when they finished.
Gotcha.
So women's ice hockey finished 7th out of the bunch. And there you go. That is the final tally, Wake Med Winter Games medal count.
By the way, the Netherlands, all of their medals came in speed skating.
Really?
Well, all of them came in speed skating.
I did know that Jordan Stolz is like the American speed skater that won the 1,000 and the 500.
Mm-hmm.
In Netherlands is like Tom Brady. He's like so unbelievably famous in Netherlands. So they care about their speed skating.
Oh, that's their sport. Like cross-country skiing is Norway's sport. That's why they won all of them. That's why, what's his name, won 6?
Yeah, Johannes Hofsled Kleibo.
Yeah, that guy.
Had 6 gold medals. 6.
Insane.
Broke the record, I believe, for an individual in a single Winter Games.
Yeah.
Obviously not touching Michael Phelps, USA, but 6 is still a ton. Still a ton. That's as I said, the final medal count brought to you by Wake Med. The Winter Games medal counts from Italy throughout the entire games were brought to you by Wake Med. Now let's quickly get to the Dean's List. We've got a couple number ones to put on the Dean's List here today. We'll start with UNC men's lacrosse. Number 1 on the Inside Lacrosse media poll to start the season.
That they are.
Numero uno, Tar Heels lacrosse. Men's lacrosse. Also, for the first time this season, Duke basketball ranked number 1 in the AP poll.
That they are.
I thought this was crazy. It's also the first time in the John Shire era that Duke is number 1 during the regular season.
Interesting.
They climbed that high last year, kind of right after the regular season, so when we were starting to get into ACC tournament and things. But this is the first time, like, straight up regular season, going to play a regular season game this weekend, next week, that John Shire led a number 1 AP ranked Duke team. kind of unbelievable that the Cooper Flag teams never made it that high before the regular season was complete. But they are number one right now as of like this afternoon. More Dean's List. Devon Marshall, NC State defensive back.
Okay.
So Eric Galco is the director of player ops, player personnel for the Shrine Bowl. He's also a Delaware Blue Hen. Shout out Blue Hens. But he listed, so the combine's going to go on Thursday. And Eric is a guy that does all of the prep for who should get invited to all-star games and things. And he talked to NFL front office personnel across the league and asked who are the biggest snubs from not being invited to the combine, and came up with 4 names. One of them, Marshall from NC State. Front office executives were like, nah, that guy should have been invited. And every year there are like a couple day 2 picks that were not invited to the combine. So if you're the biggest snub, perhaps you have some real ceiling on your draft stock that not many are going to credit you with. So he was, again, some of the PFF stuff, really loved his performance this year for State. Wasn't always the best secondary, but he was kind of a shining star amongst them. Dennis, do you have any Dean's Listers you'd like to throw out here?
I'll throw out there Clemson women's basketball. You broke Duke women's basketball's 17-game win streak on
That's
a three-pointer.
big of you, a South Carolina team.
I know. Give credit where it's due. By the way, this is the last week of the regular season for ACC women's basketball, by the way.
And Duke is still, breaking a 17-game win streak is a bummer, but they're still, easily going to be ranked in the top 15. So I think they were 9th going into.
Yeah, they were
game.
9th going in. I think they're down to 12th now.
Yeah. So
I think they're still atop the ACC in standings. So don't get me wrong.
Last bit of Dean's List I have for you. A couple of former Tar Heels. Remember Harrison Ingram?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The amorphous blob can do everything is what I used to call him during his time with the Tar Heel men's basketball program. He's now playing for the Austin Spurs in the G League. Mm-hmm. On Friday, which, by the way, he's leading the G League in rebounds, averaging 12.8. And he's not the biggest dude in the world, right? So that's a lot of hustle. That's a lot of want to.
6'7".
12.8 rebounds per game. But on Friday versus the San Diego Clippers, he put up 16 points, 20 rebounds, and 14 assists. That is a triple-double with 16, 20, and 14. That's a pretty good day at the office.
Dang.
That is a pretty good day at the office. And then also Javonte Williams, former UNC running back, cashed in. Cowboys and Javonte Williams agreed to a 3-year, $24 million deal with $16 million guaranteed.
Good for him.
Which, we root for all the products of the local colleges and the guys we covered in college, but it's even better when somebody has to overcome a pretty rough injury, right? He flashed tremendous potential as a day 2 pick for the Broncos. Bad knee injury. Took him a while to get back to the player that he was. But this past year, as a free agent signing out of the bargain bin for Dallas, he looked really good. I think it was 1,200 yards, 1,100 yards, 10, 15 touchdowns, whatever it ended up being. Just a really, really good year, and now he gets paid for it. Jerry Jones taking care of Javonte Williams. I don't agree with Jerry Jones on much. But when he's rewarding a guy that did everything the right way back from injury, I'll give him a little bit of credit. $16 million guaranteed for Javonte. It's good business. Another player, though, from that stretch where Carolina just cranked out NFL skill position players that Tar Heel fans are like, we didn't win much with all those guys. We had all those guys. Yeah, Javonte Williams definitely one of those guys. And that's it for the Dean's List. Here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. We have additional winners and losers coming up, but first, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here. Real quick for my good friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Speaking of winners and losers, I'm a winner because of what I lost. I'm a winner because I lost 42 pounds thanks to the program over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. That's right, 42 pounds is how much I lost thanks to the program over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And one thing that I will say about the program, about Raleigh Weight Loss Center that I appreciate, is the fact that there are no shots, no steroids, no injections, none of the side effects. I know a lot of people, when it comes to weight loss journeys, they're worried about taking those things, and I completely understand that. And that's what makes Raleigh Weight Loss Center and their program so wonderful is the fact that you don't have to worry about any of those kinds of things. If you have questions about the Raleigh Weight Loss Center program, give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone call. A free 15-minute phone call. And also when you call them, let them know that you heard it from right here from me, Dennis Cox, right here on 99.9 The Fan. That way, when you contact them, if you get involved with the program, discount possibly coming your way. So make sure you give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. They've helped thousands of people, myself included, lose anywhere between 10 to 20% of their body weight. I lost over 15%. I'm living, breathing, walking proof that it works, but also I've maintained the weight that I've lost. That's the key part about it as well. People get scared of, well, if I lose a bunch of weight, am I going to put it back on? No. That's the thing. You don't. That's what I've done. RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, has some fun with winners and losers coming up.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $12 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement. A $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-378-7241. 800-378-7241. Again, that's 800-378-7241.
The Littles get it in for Gungbo. Looking back door, the lob to Evans! And he dunks it down! What a play call out of the timeout! And the lead back to 3.
Great back screen by Boozer to get Evans open.
59-56.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we jump into winners and losers, I do want to let everybody know you're all a winner if you tune in at 7 o'clock today to 99.9 The Fan for Canes Corner, featuring guest of honor, Canes defenseman Jalen Chatfield.
Let's go.
Chatty in the house. Mike Maniscalco will be chatting with Chatty. See what I did there? Right, kind of right on the nose.
I think we got it.
Jalen Chatfield will be the guest of honor for an hour of conversation. Again, Mike Maniscalco, voice of the Canes, will be handling the interview. Jalen Chatfield will be the guest of honor. It's tonight at 7 p.m. Canes Corner. It is live at the local. If you want to make it out there and see it in person. If you can't make it out there to see it in person, you can listen right here on 99.9 The Fan. It'll be our 99.9 The Fan YouTube, 99.9 The Fan app, which is available in the Google Play and app stores. So check it out. No excuse not to get all the insight you need from Jalen Chatfield. I imagine he'll say he's happy for Jacob Slavin, his fellow blue liner, who won the gold. With that being said, every Monday about this time, we play a game of winners and losers.
This team will never lose again.
That's right. Winners and losers. It's a one-week little deal here, and it's more than just you won on the scoreboard. It's winning in aura, winning in vibes. I'll get the obvious out of the way. winner USA hockey, loser Canada hockey. Men's and women's, take your pick for the score, for the vibes, for the aura, for a million reasons. There you go. Anything you want to add for the USA hockey winners or the Canada losers there, Dennis?
Loser, voting process for MVP. So a lot of people were upset after the game and they find out, oh, Connor McDavid, MVP of the Olympics. Again, voting for the Olympics as a whole, not just the gold medal game. Well, the process is you have to have your votes in by the end of the first period. So you still have the rest of the game, at least the gold medal game, that's going to be has to be played out. So people had their votes in by that time. Maybe they even had it in before that. So this actually happens, I don't think people realize when it comes to voting for all ACC tournament and ACC tournament MVP and along those lines. Oftentimes you have to have those submissions in by around halftime. So people don't realize that. That way they can compile all the votes and get the lists and all that kind of stuff out there. That way when the games are over, here you go. Because once the game ends, us as media, we're trying to go to locker room, TV people are trying to get set up, so we might forget to actually do the vote. So it's kind of a little bit of a sticky situation, catch-22, I guess you could say, in terms of the voting. So a lot of people were very upset, but the process, unfortunately, it stinks because people put, oh yeah, Connor McDavid, which he was great throughout the Olympics. Don't get me wrong, but I hate how that works.
Do you know what's? I've had this argument a million times. My mom is a big American Idol fan, and they can say, vote for this person. We'll be back after the commercial with the results to the voting and handle it in like 3.5 minutes. Yet sports are like, we can't field media votes from like 100 people over 2 hours, so we need to get them done quick. No. Send them a link. They'll vote. You'll have the answers very, very quickly. More winners and losers. Winner. I'll put John Shire here. Not just for Duke beating Michigan and number one in the AP poll and all that. Duke scored on every possession after the under 4 media timeout in that game. And a lot of them were set pieces. A lot of them were, coach drawing something up. And they worked swimmingly, which does go against kind of the reputation that John Shire has had since he took over for Duke, which is really the only blemish in his coaching style is sometimes late game execution. I think a lot of that's unwarranted, but a game like that where you go flawless, you go perfect, score on every possession from the under 4 media timeout to the end of the game. That's pretty good. And also, I really like the defensive scheme and how they use Cam Boozer when he was not in foul trouble, kind of roaming as the help defender. I think it worked out pretty well. Loser, Stanford men's basketball. I'm trying to incorporate the West Coast into the ACC and care about their rivalries.
Okay.
Stanford lost to Cal over the weekend.
How dare they?
So, I mean, the Stanford-Cal, right? Like, oh, what a rivalry. I'm trying to work them in. Right? It's like the new kid at school. You got to invite him to your lunch table. Come on, Stanford. You're a loser. You lost to your rival. Get on in here. Stanford, men's basketball. Do you have some winners and losers you want to throw out here, Dennis?
Loser? Canadian fans that are saying 3-on-3 doesn't belong in the Olympics. I'm sorry, we all played by the same rules, didn't we?
We all knew what they were.
We all knew. Also, you won in the quarterfinals in overtime. Did you complain about it then? Also, for everyone saying, hey, 5-on-5, not real hockey. You won in 2010, 4-on-4 in overtime. The golden goal by Sidney Crosby, that was 4-on-4. Not real hockey, so we're just not going to count that either? Okay. If that's the route you want to go, we can also not count that one too.
And you had 60 minutes of quote-unquote real hockey.
And did you beat them?
And you didn't win.
So, yeah.
It's not like they did 10 minutes of 5-on-5, 10 minutes of 3-on-3, 10 minutes of, like, it's not what you had way more time at 5-on-5.
Yeah, way more time at 5-on-3.
That's true as well.
Did you score? No. I actually have another winner.
Well, let's hear.
Zach Werenski.
Hustle play.
Zach Werenski. Not just the hustle play. I'm going to body Nathan McKinnon off the puck.
There's a lot of guys. How about Charlie McAvoy / goaltender?
Yeah, for real.
Jumping in behind Hellebuck and making a game-saving save. There's a lot of those little things that probably won't go noticed, but should. Hughes and Hellebuck are going to get all the love. And by the way, those moments, that happens in every game. Like, there's a few moments that get the headlines. There were a lot of little moments that mattered as well. A lot of them.
I have another couple winners here.
All right, let's hear it.
United States penalty kill. Did not give up one power play goal the entire Olympics. Also, winner, Bill Guerin, general manager of USA Hockey, took all the crap from so many people. Why didn't you put Jason Robertson on the team? Why didn't you put Cole Caulfield on the team? These guys are leading U.S.-born players in goal scoring this season. Well, yeah, because we needed a team that could win a 2-1 game in the Olympics against Canada. And that's the team that he built.
There are a lot of victory laps going around with, I took a lot of heat for this one. And rightfully so. Winners go to the spoils. Winner, Henry Vasar. Come back, and UNC looks like UNC again. That's got to feel good, right? And that's a game without Caleb Wilson where he gets to be a little bit more the centerpiece against Syracuse. They played tonight against Louisville, another opportunity for him to show he can be the centerpiece on a top 25 team. But he did that at least against Syracuse, which is not the scariest team in the ACC, over the weekend. Loser, former Wake Forest running back Kenneth Walker III. It seems like all the reports are out there that the Seahawks are going to let him walk as a free agent after being Super Bowl MVP. Business is brutal, man. What's a running back got to do to get a contract around here?
Heck, he could be a winner. Could get more on the open market.
Yeah, but you would think you want to be a part of the team you just won a Super Bowl with.
True.
And there were some, obviously comments made at the podium are not under oath, but there was some, Canada's already trying to get me to sign him, from everybody. He's coming over saying what's going to take. I don't know. It just seems like a bummer. You're the Super Bowl MVP. You're at the parade. You're having a good time, and you don't realize it's the last time you're going to be around those teammates. It's kind of brutal. More winners and losers here. We'll rifle through. Winner, War Road, Minnesota. I highlighted them before the event. Brock Nelson is from War Road, Minnesota. They've had 8 hockey Olympians for the United States from a little town, less than 2,000 people. But even more so, his family, Brock Nelson's family, has had at least one family member on every men's USA gold medal hockey team. His grandfather, Bill Christian, and his great-uncle, Roger Christian, won gold with Team USA in 1960. His uncle, Dave Christian, won gold in 1980 with the Miracle on Ice squad, and now he is on this year's team, obviously the first since that Miracle on Ice team in 46 years ago. So I don't want to make it an undeserving deal, but every Olympics from this point forward, somebody from that family better be on the team. No pressure on his kids or anything, but
for real,
put a hockey stick in their hands. You know what I'm talking about? Let me just see something.
By the way, the distance from War Road, Minnesota to Winnipeg, Canada, it's 2.5 hour drive.
Oh yeah, and it's 6 hours from Minneapolis, St. Paul. So
exactly, it's literally on the border.
It's very Canadian looking America.
Yeah,
but we count that. Two more from the Olympics. One, loser, any male cross country skier other than Johannes Hofslot Kleibo.
For real,
won 6 gold medals. There's got to be there could be the second best men's cross country skier ever existing right now, and they're just gonna have no gold medals because they exist at the same time as Kleibo. And I might be pronouncing that wrong. He's got a lot of symbols in his name that we don't have in our alphabet.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And last winner, sports fans in 2030.
Okay.
The 2030 Olympics are scheduled to end on Sunday, February 17th. Which means, with the way the NFL schedule is going, the Super Bowl is upcoming year, February 14th, and everyone's talking about adding that one extra week. There's a strong chance, February 17th, 2030, NBC, who does have the Super Bowl that year, will go directly from the men's hockey gold medal game into Super Bowl pregame, and we will have that all one sports day on February 17th, 2030.
That's kind of wild. Is Mike Tirico going to fly over from the French Alps to cover the Super Bowl? Because that'd be pretty awesome.
I guess they could get the old Concorde out, like that the plane that used to go 1 billion miles an hour.
Yeah, why not?
Do one of them remotely? I don't know. Or just have 2 broadcasters. Either way, that could be the all-time day right there. If it's like a USA-Canada rematch, straight into a good matchup in the NFL, goodness gracious. Little Panthers action, perhaps?
Let's go.
Year 8 for Bryce?
If he's there.
He finally hits his rhythm, year 8.
Either you have it or you don't. Oh, by the way, this one comes from Benji on our YouTube live chat. Winner, Vincent Trocheck for getting drunk. Loser, the stuffed animals with Nathan McKinnon. This little stuffed animal.
Oh, goodness.
Just seeing his face, like, what am I supposed to do with this thing?
You know, the United States is hosting the LA Olympics, which is the next Summer Games. If we're gonna let's think like Americans here, okay? Do you know what we have to give the silver medalists? Like a punching bag or a stress ball? Like something that is acknowledging you're probably pretty angry right now. You can't give somebody like a cute little stuffed animal right after they fall one hair short of their ultimate gold goal. Their ultimate goal that they've been working towards for 4 years plus. Let's give them like a heavy bag. Like you get boxing gloves and a speed bag. Go take out that frustration. It is funny watching all of them just take this little. Like, oh, yeah. That's winners and losers. We're getting closer to Monday's Soundoff, so be ready to call in with your takes. Even closer, though, football at 4. Stick around.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
Ooh, with the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries.
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's bow time.
There's bow time, and then there's Bojangler time. You heard right. The Bojangler fish fillet sandwich is back for limited time at participating Bojangles. A light, flaky, perfectly seasoned fish fillet with lettuce, cheese, and tartar sauce tucked inside a bun. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
It's Ram Truck Month right now at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Drive home a brand new 2026 Ram 1500 for 20% off. Or pick your financing deal. 0% for 60 months or 2.9% for 72 months. America's best-selling truck comes with a terrific powertrain limited warranty. 10 years or 100,000 miles. Excludes RHO and tungsten. See dealer for details. So get off your keister and get to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington today.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Sunshine with us through the afternoon, but it is windy and cold out there. We'll see winds gusting up to 25 to 30 miles per hour. A high temperature of only 46, so it'll feel like 30s for the rest of the afternoon. It's a cold night tonight, down to 26 under clear skies, and chilly tomorrow with a high of 48 under mostly sunny skies.
4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 821 points to 48,804.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Football at 4 now in 15 minutes, actually a little less. Monday Soundoff. So have your takes ready. Winter Games takes, obviously. Hockey takes, obviously. College basketball takes, obviously. We want it all. Whatever you want to talk about. 4:15, we'll open up the Heister Automotive Group hotline. I'll give you the phone number in just a little bit. In the meantime, Football at 4. I never thought I'd be referencing something like this in a Football at 4, but here we go. Bloomberg put out the list of the hedge fund top 10 highest earners. Now, I do not pretend to be any kind of a financial whiz, so do not take any of this as any kind of advice to do with your finances. But I can look at a graph and look at a list and regurgitate the order. Steve Cohen, a.k.a. the owner of the Mets, was the highest earning hedge fund manager in 2025. He made $3.4 billion. Number 2 on the list, Carolina Panthers owner David Tepper, who also owns and runs Appaloosa Management. He made $3.2 billion with a B, as in billions, as in boy, as in boatloads of money, as in, whoa, $3.2 billion in 2025 alone for David Tepper. Now, I didn't do this on air because on-air math is never my strength, but with some estimated math, I'm pretty sure that means that David Tepper made a little over $100 every second in 2025, like $101. We'll round it to 100. Imagine someone following him around and handing him a $100 bill every second of every hour of every day for the entire calendar year of 2025. That's the rate at which he earned money in 2025. Now, if this were baseball, if he were the owner of baseball, and Steve Cohen is trying this for the Mets, you could go full Dodgers and just try to buy the best team, right? The caps, and I know there's luxury taxes and stuff now. You could just go pay whatever you want to pay, defer the money, whatever you want to do, and just buy the best players at every position. I'd be very surprised if Paul Skeens isn't a Dodger in the near future. It's just the way it happens. But in football, the salary cap's a bit more, I'd say it's still make-believe, but it's a bit more enforced, right? It's a bit more of a hard cap. So it does complicate how much a deep pockets owner that maybe made $3.2 billion in a single calendar year can just go out and say, let's get the best players. So where can he flex that cash? Right? If he looks around and says, I just made the second most of any hedge fund manager in the world in 2025. And I assume in 2024 he wasn't making zippy. You know what I mean? I assume he's pocketed some cash. Where can he flex it for the Panthers? Outside the cap. Most obvious facilities, right? Like the blind surveys that we're not going to be allowed to see the answers to anymore from the Players Association. The Panthers should dominate all of that stuff, right? Like who has the best nutrition, who has the best facilities, who's the best weight room, the best locker room, who has the best for the families on game day. They should dominate all that.
I know they're working on still constructing the new practice facility and all that. That's right there, right next to Bank of America.
Beautiful. Another advantage you should have if you have the deep pockets, the absolute best medical staff. If your players don't get injured as often and get better faster when they do get injured, massive advantage. So have all the cutting edge everythings, right? And they're doing a little bit of that, right? At camp, you see the ultra cold, whatever they call it, trailer that you walk through to get your body temperature back down. Like, have that stuff in spades. Whatever the newest, coolest thing is, no matter how expensive. You made $3.2 billion last year. VR. I've read a lot of articles, virtual reality, what VR stands for, a lot of articles about the Commanders virtual reality training that Jaden Daniels is using. And it appears to be pretty legit. Go get it all, right? I know it feels like you're buying a video game. No. Bryce Young should be able to get as many reps as he needs outside of practice, right? The Players Association, the CBAs keep limiting practice time, right? You can't be on the field. You can't be on the field. No two-a-days. You got to have days off. Well, okay, if we're doing one-a-days on the field, your quarterbacks need two-a-days, three-a-days even. So put them in the VR. Have like a Disney Quest style part of your, for anyone that's been Disney Quest, a lot of VR there, style section of your facilities. And then here's those are all fun, right? And I think they work. Here's my number one answer. Play callers. I've been on this path for a long time. The place where rich owners in the NFL should and could flex the most aggressively is play callers. I don't know if there's anyone on the offense that impacts your ability. The quarterback is number one. Number two might be play caller. Defense, I'm not sure number one isn't play caller. Unless you have like a Myles Garrett or somebody who doesn't really need a play, can just go beat double teams and stuff. But play calling is the most underrated part of dollars to wins, right? If you're just looking for Moneyball status, like how much are you paying for a win? Pay for the play callers. Now, offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator salaries aren't as readily available publicly as like players are because of the salary cap. But at the beginning of last year, there were a ton of reports that called Chip Kelly for the Raiders the highest paid coordinator in the NFL. He was making, again, according to these reports, $6 million per year. Okay? Highest paid coordinator. Obviously, he was a play caller as well. David Tepper made $6 million every 16 and a half hours in 2025. Basically, half a day he made enough to have the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL. And that doesn't include what he made from the Panthers or what he made from, I don't know, real estate or whatever else he's in. That's just his hedge fund cash. Why wouldn't the Panthers have the absolute best play callers, offense and defense, every single year? Every single year. If you have a guy making that much money. It's not, oh, well, if we pay the play caller, we can't pay we can't have a good enough offensive line because the money's going to the play caller. That's what happens on the field, right? Well, we can't pay both, two wide receivers a lot of money because then we won't have enough for a running back. That's not how it works. If you are a three-point, I want to say it over and over again. He makes over $100 a second in 2025. Here's 100. Here's 100. Here's 100. Here's 100 for a full year. If you think Dave Canales is the best offensive play caller in the league, fine. If that's what you've come up with, then pay him just to be the play caller and have someone else calling timeouts and stuff. And pay them a good amount of money too, because you're making $3.9 billion. Billion. At some point, the people with it happens in college football. College football, do you see what SMU just did? They asked like 3 families for money, and they raised $50 million to pay players. And they thanked the individual families. Like, Bob and Sandy Johnson, or whatever their names are. Mary and Frank Smith. And they thanked, they raised $50 million. If you're an owner of an NFL team, you can flex the same way. Because there are teams out there, and it's crazy, there are teams out there that call themselves, quote, cash poor, right? Teams that, they're billionaires, but a lot of their billionaireship is paper money in the value of the team because, great-great-grandpa bought it for $25 in a couple of cases of bison meat in 1924 or whatever, when the league was getting started. Now, obviously, they're more rich than any of us know what to do with, but they can't just go throwing away, $50 million a year. Tepper could. And I'm not even saying throw it away, right? Because you spend the money, you win, you'll get it back. Winning a Super Bowl is lucrative for the owner, I promise you. Why do you think Seattle put their franchise up for sale last week, right after they won a Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah.
because they saw those estimates and said, you know what, yes, I know we're managing his estate, but now I do agree it was his wish to sell. Right now, we won the Super Bowl. Now it's time to sell.
It's always surprising to me how this is not just football. You see it across pro sports as a whole. How owners are so reluctant to put money into the health of the players, of the athletes. If you're paying somebody, I don't know, name your highest paid player. If you're paying that person however many millions of dollars to go perform on the field, I'm going to spend as much as I can to make sure that I'm giving every dime out of that investment.
Yep.
I want to make sure that you need chiropractors, I got you. Massage therapists, I got you. You want to make sure you have the best playing surface, the best equipment, all of those things. Because I want you to go out there and perform to the level of which I'm paying you to perform. It's just staggering to me how teams are so reluctant to do that.
It's almost like an insurance payment, kind of.
Yeah.
Like let me, I pay him all this, he should do it. Well, it's like, well, if he gets hurt, then you're paying him all that and not getting anything from it. Or you could spend, granted, a lot of money, but you're owning a big business. Spend money to make money. If I were an owner and I didn't have the best trainers, the best training facilities, the best of that kind of stuff, I just would go do it, right? And I'd say, this year my yacht, I won't get to take it out as much, right? My real estate ventures, I won't get to splurge on the extra house in the Hamptons this year. I'll have to wait to do that real estate, toy buying later because I own an NFL team and I want to win and I want that investment to be good. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's just a little hint of football at 4. We will open up the phone lines for Monday Soundoff, and I will give you the number to call right after Dennis hits you with some information.
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick for my good friends over at Law Tigers. I know the temperature dipped a little bit, but the sun's shining. It's out there more. The sun is shining more later into the day. Before you know it, we're going to be springing forward here in the very near future, which means spring is right around the corner. I can't wait to get out on the motorcycle. And something that I want you to do, I want you to join me out there on the road. This is where you actually have a chance to win something as well. Go to caniacsbike.com because the Law Tigers are once again teaming up with your Carolina Hurricanes to give one lucky Caniac a custom Canes Ducati motorcycle, courtesy of Art Moto Garage and Shiny Side Paint. Simple to enter. You go to caniacsbike.com. Bike will be given away live on the ice April 4th during the game. And it includes tickets to a catered suite as well. Deadline to enter, by the way, it's March 29th. Which is actually going to be here before you know it, folks. So don't wait. Go to caniacsbike.com, enter for your chance to win. Tell a friend, and when you win the bike, hit me up. We'll go riding together. caniacsbike.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, wants to hear from you. Hockey takes, Olympics takes, college basketball takes, any sports takes you have, we want to hear them. It's a Monday Soundoff. Call in now. Heister Automotive Group hotline is open. 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326 for the Heister Automotive Group hotline and a Monday Soundoff. Look forward to hearing from you. Call in now. Back after this.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Every team has the ability to do it. I hope all 30 teams could learn from that.
They are spending and acquiring every star out there. And what these guys are saying is, yeah, we like it because guys should get paid. And if you want to try to put up guardrails, we're not going to go for it. We are in big time favor of what the Dodgers are doing. And if baseball tries to switch this up, they're going to have a problem.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
It is Heart Health Month, and I am here with Bethany Usowitz from WakeMed Cardiac Rehab, exercise physiologist. Bethany, Let's start with the who's. Who needs cardiac rehab, and how quickly should they begin after a cardiac event?
Heart disease is the number one killer in America. So I'd like to say everyone, but it's mostly folks who have gone through a cardiac event like a heart attack or people who had heart surgery. It could be a valve, it could be angioplasty or a stent placed, really to help prevent heart disease from progressing.
Now, when you say everyone, is this something you should look into even before a cardiac event?
Good question. There's not a ton of research around what you might call prehab, so like preventative in these items, but that's just anyone can exercise and learn to do these things. Rehab is really post-surgery, and that's where the research lies, and it helps those patients prevent another event or another surgery.
To learn more about WakeMed Cardiac Rehab, visit wakemed.org.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Happy Monday, everybody. Not only is it a Monday, it is a Monday Soundoff. Do want to remind everybody, tonight, Canes Corner, 7 o'clock, live from the local, Mike Maniscalco, voice of the Canes, will be interviewing Jalen Chatfield. That'll go on for about an hour. There'll be autographs signed if you're out there. Players are usually pretty cool about interacting with the fans, and I assume Jalen will be the same way. But you can hear it here on 99.9 The Fan as well if you can't make it out. YouTube, 99.9 The Fan app. If you're on your phone, 99.9 The Fan app. It's all pretty self-explanatory. At the moment, here on 99.9, it is time for a Monday Soundoff, which means the Heister Automotive Group hotline is open, 919-860-5326. If you don't get through, keep calling. We will do our best to work in as many as possible, and lines will continue to open up. We start with Bob in Selma. Wants to sound off on some hockey. We're happy to have you. Bob, welcome to the show. Go ahead and sound off.
Oh, yes, sir. I want to first give kudos to the women for doing what they were supposed to do and win that goal. It was a hard fight for them, but they got her done. Now I'm going to give the kudos to the men to doing something that they weren't supposed to do, and that was to slug fight it out. Like, as I was watching the game, it reminded me of Hurricanes games, a time where we're out shooting the opponent 2-1, and their goalie just, you can't get past them, and we lose. That's how the game bounces sometimes. And all I want to hear is play me some Skinner, boys, or sound that free bird, because United States took double goal. Let's go, baby. Woo!
I like it. I love the enthusiasm. I appreciate you for listening. And for those of you that were listening last week, anytime there was a men's or women's USA hockey game on, when they scored a goal, we did hit the Skinnerd. One thing, I do want to make this clear, though, right? The men were not favored to win against Canada. It wasn't like, you know, the freshman team upsetting the varsity, right? Like, Team USA is full of NHL stars as well. Like, you're not going to hear me argue that on paper Canada isn't more talented, but it definitely was not a, oh my goodness, how are they skating with them type of moment. There's some dudes on US, Jacob Slavin for the Canes amongst them, that, you know, make their living shutting down guys like the players on Canada. So it was awesome, don't get me wrong. It wasn't like a charity case by any case. Let's jump back into the calls. Heister Automotive Group hotline for a Monday Soundoff. Isaiah in Wake Forest wants to sound off on the Hornets and perhaps Dean's Listers. Let's hear from Isaiah. Welcome to the show. Go ahead and sound off.
Hey, thank you for taking my call. I'll start with my Dean Listers. I have two.
Okay.
First is Kyle Filipowski for the Utah Jazz. He's done great coming into relief for Yusuf Nurkic. Nurkic is out today again with nose injury management. I'm not even going to start on that. I'm so over the NBA players being out for dumb reasons. but he's been playing really well, and that ties into my second one. Maxime Reynaud has the starting spot for the Sacramento Kings for the rest of the season, as Domantas Sabonis is out for the rest of the season. He's played great. So just props to both of those young guys. And then I have a winner, and that's the Charlotte Hornets, as they get Miles Bridges and Moussa Diabate back for tomorrow's game against the Bulls. They won the games they should have won, and they lost, but played really well against two good teams in the Rockets. And
Isaiah, I don't want to add insult to injury here, but Yusuf Nurkic is definitely not like a made up injury. Chris Haynes of NBA TV is reporting that the nose injury requires surgery, and he's done for the season. So he is undergoing season-ending nose surgery. So perhaps there's more opportunity for Filipowski there, but this is not the made-up like load management injury that I think you were kind of hinting at there. But all good additions to the Dean's List and winners and losers there. We appreciate you for listening, Isaiah, and call back in anytime, all right? There he goes. I feel like he's going to immediately Google Nurkic's injury. What? Season end? Click. Gotta go handle this. It is a season-ending nose surgery. I can see why maybe he didn't believe it. 919-860-5326 is the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Open for your calls. And the next call comes from Jeff in Raleigh. Both Panthers and hockey on his list of things to sound off about. So, Jeff, welcome to the show. The floor is yours.
Yeah, what I wanted to say was the Panthers had Brady, who is now the head coach at Buffalo.
Joe Brady, yep.
As the place. After he had Burroughs and Chase and Jefferson, and they let him go. Where would they be now if they would have kept him around, whether it was OC or head coach, whatever? And the other part is, I don't like this where everybody's supplanting this year's team, USA hockey, versus 1980. It's not the same.
Correct.
When the Canes or when USA played, they were playing with amateurs against.
Yep, Jeff, I'll finish this argument for you because it's one that I wholeheartedly agree with. So I appreciate the call. Call back in anytime. It's a credit to 1980 that this year it's not a wild and crazy upset, right? 1980 ignited an entire generation of hockey fans, spurred upon by some of the early 2000s stuff Team USA did, and eventually now building off of it turned into this win for the United States. It is nowhere near the upset that 1980 was, but it's awesome in its own right. Like, I don't want people to make me say that. I want me be like, this might be the second most important win in USA hockey history. Don't make me be a hater by saying it's not number one, because number one is unassailable. When it comes to Joe Brady, you got to remember what was going. That's the Matt Rule era. It's tough to identify and keep the one exciting thing. Sometimes when things are going poor enough, you just got to clean house. Happy Joe Brady is landed on his feet. We'll see what he does with the as a head coach with the Bills. But I don't think it's fair to just go like they could have kept him. Like, that was a lot of moves ago. The drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We go to one of our number one hockey fans on the call-in line next here. We have Linda in Roanoke. Linda, welcome to the show. Go ahead and sound off.
Hey, Tim. Thanks for taking my call yet again. I'm lucky. I seem to get in every time I try. I just want to sound off on all the Hurricanes that were at the Olympics. Freddie Anderson, Nikolai Ehlers, Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis, you know how I feel about him, and Jacob Slavin. They all did a wonderful job representing the Hurricanes, and I think that the various teams probably could have picked more Hurricanes to be on their teams, but they didn't. And I agree with you that the better team won, but it was a very, very close game. I watched the whole thing, and I think it could have gone either way, but I'm glad that Slavin got the gold and Jarvis got the silver and Aho got the bronze.
There you go. Linda, we will always make time for you. We appreciate it, and we're always thinking of you, all right?
Thank you. I'll see you at the end of March.
There you go.
That's right. She's coming down when they play the Canadiens.
That's a
Linda's going to be in town. Come meet Linda.
She's awesome. She knows she is, but we'll say it again. She's awesome. And for the most part, I do think the Canes showed very well for themselves at the Olympics. Like, I don't know if they were the biggest stars. Aho, I think, was one of the biggest stars for Finland. I don't know if they're the biggest stars, but they showed very well for themselves in a very Canes way, where it's just like, nope, we're just doing the dirty work. If you give Jarvis 7-8 minutes, he's going to do everything he can in those 7-8 minutes. If you give Slavin all the defensive zone face-off time where they're backed up, he'll go in there and do his best. It's just what they do. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is a Monday Soundoff. We have Eric and Carrie next up on the call-in line. The Heister Automotive Group hotline wants to sound off on some trade deadline talk. Eric, welcome to the show. Go ahead and sound off.
Hey, thanks, Tim. I just wanted to congratulate the Hurricanes that were at the Olympics. Great showing. And now that we move on from the Olympics, the thing that's on my mind is the upcoming trade deadline for the NHL. The Hurricanes, to me, seem to clearly have a need at second center, and it's been a area that's been missing since Trocheck left, in my opinion. The way that I see it, we need to look for a second-line center via trade from a team that is not really in the hunt and looking to move on from players. There's not really that many. We also want a right-handed center that's good two ways. The two targets that I see that makes the most sense are the guy that left, Trocheck, and Robert Thomas out of St. Louis. They both fit that bill perfectly. The problem that we have is that they both have some form of trade protection, and they're also going to not be very cheap. And I'm worried that the Canes are not going to fill this need that's been around for a few seasons now. That's really what I wanted to say. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you very much. Well planned out, well thought out caller there. The deadline is 11 days away. The trade freeze was lifted at midnight, this past midnight.
Yeah, last night.
So technically trades could happen. And if we hear anything, we'll pass it along. Trocheck, I mean, maybe the price went up. He was a part of that gold medal team. He was a part of that. He and JT Miller took some victory laps on the penalty kill, saying, that's why we were here.
He served his role.
Exactly.
Which was be right-handed face-off guy, play defensively. Don't need you to score.
Robert Thomas is still going to be expensive.
Yep. And he's still hurt.
True. I think it's very much like let's see what Eric Tulsky has cooking. I don't want to react positively or negatively until you see what happens. It's kind of one of those cross those bridges when you get there thing. But 11 days.
Yep, Friday next week.
11 days.
A lot can happen between now and then.
In a lot of different ways. Players can become available. Players can waive no trade clauses and things, no movement clauses because, I do want out. There's a lot of different ways it can work. It is a Monday Sound Off. The lines are open. We have a couple of them open as it stands right now. 919-860-5326. Heister Automotive Group hotline. Call in now. We do have some very patient callers as well, including Reggie in Sanford, who's been waiting to talk some USA hockey and the Carolina Tar Heels. So, Reggie, the floor is yours. Take it in whichever direction you choose.
Hey, how's it going, Tim?
It's going well. Happy to hear from you.
Yeah, same here. I just wanted to say about the U.S. hockey team. Congratulations for that win. But I heard that after they won, they held up a jersey for a teammate that passed away, and that teammate's family was there. I thought it was pretty neat. That's the beauty about sports.
Absolutely, and I'll expand on that, and thank you for bringing it up. Johnny Gaudreau, Johnny Hockey, as he was known in a lot of circles, was a young future superstar, and he and his brother lost their lives in a drunk driving. They were not, but they were on their bikes in a drunk driving accident, and it's absolutely tragic. And yes, if you watch the game, after the game, they were carrying his jersey. His children were out there on the ice. His wife Meredith was out there on the ice. They were celebrating. His dad, his family were all in the stands. It was emotional because a lot of those guys came up through a bunch of the youth hockey kind of ranks with Johnny. So it was emotional, and it is hockey. Sports are crazy that way for helping people deal with loss in a good way. So thank you for bringing it up, and call back in anytime.
Thank you.
Goodness. I mean, there were some very pointed and emotional moments right after that game went final. To all the Gaudreaus, still thinking about it, still supporting and everything we can pass along. Pat in Durham is up next as we transition back to the sports side of things. Pat in Durham wants to talk about USA and Duke. Pat, welcome to the show. Go ahead and sound off.
Thank you. First off, I was pretty upset at State last week and about the Carolina game, and I got to eat my words on that. And so I got to, step up and take that one. But I'm glad I was wrong, being a State fan.
Okay.
And secondly, great win for both the women's and the men's hockey teams. I wasn't able to watch the game, but I was wondering, do you know about where you can see it on a replay? And third, just the NCAA basketball on Saturday afternoon. Holy cow, it was great with the 1, 2, 3, and 4 teams, and props to Duke. They were so gritty and did the ACC proud, did the fan base proud. Just an amazing game, and I enjoyed it. Thanks again.
You're very welcome. I don't know about where you can watch a replay of the gold medal game. I mean, NBC has the rights, right? So I would assume Peacock or something if it is available. Or you could just go talk to anybody that watched it, and they'll be so happy to go. And then they had a 5-on-3, and then McKinnon had the shot, and then like everyone that watched it just wants somebody to let them talk about it. So that's kind of how my experience has been, at least. And you're right. It was a great Saturday for college basketball. The Arizona-Houston game, number 4, beating number 2. Arizona getting the win. And then the Duke-Michigan game, Grady, I think, is a good way to describe it. Neither team shot the 3 particularly well. But I think Duke was, especially in the second half, kind of distancing themselves as the better team. Heaster Automotive Group hotline is open for your calls on a Monday Soundoff, as it often is at this time. 919-860-5326. Call in now with USA Hockey, Canes Hockey as they get started, deadline talk, trade deadline that we got to earlier. There's college basketball going on, a ton of stuff. So call in now, 919-860-5326. Next up on the docket here in my notes, we have Bryce in Fort Bragg that wants to sound off on USA Hockey. Bryce, welcome to the show. Go ahead and sound off.
Hey, Tom, thanks so much for having me on the show. Long-time listener.
Thank you.
Get to listen to you on my commute from Bragg to Fuquay Arena, where the family lives. Just wanted to personally start a GoFundMe account for Jack Hughes' veneers that he'll be in need of. No, just the iconic picture of him toothless biting his gold medal, as most of the Olympians do. I just think will be stuck in our minds for a long, long time, and quite proud of him and his post-game interview. Just one of the most, as a service member, one of the most patriotic things I've heard in a long, long time. The fact that he's willing to literally shed blood for his country as he did in the Olympics. Really, really proud of the young man, and I hope he gets to visit the White House soon. I know he's personally invited to the State of the Union address tomorrow, so to be looking for him in the crowd, smiling, toothless and all. Hey, curious to know your thoughts. The NHL, very successful during the All-Star break a year ago with the Tournament of Nations, and how the NBA has tried to look at that model to model something for their All-Star break. how can the NBA achieve the success that the NHL and USA Hockey has to get back to that dream team level of national pride and inspiration that I'm sure they'd love to see. I'll just leave it at that. Curious your thoughts.
All right, I appreciate it. Bunch of points there made there. One, I kind of wish that Sam Bennett's high stick on Jack Hughes not only chipped the tooth, but then on the I wanted Sam Bennett's penalty to matter more. I want him to score on the power play. But obviously it got Jack Hughes into the right mind space to go ahead and score the winner. And yes, Jack Hughes with the, for the veneers and all that, I'm not only will he probably not pay for that, my guess is he's drinking for free in bars across the United States for a long time. I don't think we have to worry about the financial situation of the Hughes brothers. When it comes to the Four Nations and the NBA trying to kind of mimic it with the USA versus the world and all that, I think what the NBA was trying to mimic there was a bit too specific. The thing that the NHL has figured out with Four Nations, I think that it plays in the Olympics and it plays, you have to find what matters to the players. And the NHL, hockey players, I think due to the youth system and everything, they very much care about which country is seen as the better team and those things. Basketball, I don't know if it's like, oh, USA versus Canada. I don't know. It doesn't seem like that gets them as riled up. You have to figure out what matters to them. I've had this conversation before. It seems like basketball, they care more about like cities and states, right? So if you got like a New York City basketball against a Texas basketball against a North Carolina, maybe the Carolinas basketball against DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia basketball, Prince George's County against California, I think that could work. Also, if you want to go full capitalist, what do you think? You know what they have at the for F1, like the Manufacturers Cup, where it's who makes your car? What if you got like Team Nike against Team Adidas against Team New Balance, and you had to be endorsed by those shoes, by those apparel companies, and that's what you played for in the All-Star game. And then right, because right now you're so worried about the endorsement cash coming. If I get hurt, it's like, well, the endorsement cash would be like, you have to play in the All-Star game and you better win because we want to be seen as the best possible there. You got to find what the teams care about. Or
I
what
think
the players
the players have to care.
That's what I'm saying. You got to find what they care about and use that, right? Because it's obvious they don't care about who wins the All-Star game. It's obvious, and I know it's obvious USA versus the world doesn't get them jacked up. Like golfers, if you said USA versus Europe, boom, Ryder Cup, people care, they talk trash. Hockey, if you say it's country by country, boom, they get fired up, they want to play. Basketball players, USA versus the world doesn't get them jacked. You got to find something they care about or something that you can make them care about. I think if you told Nike and Adidas, like you're going to be debuting new shoes and the winner is going to get to proclaim best, you're going to start having those shoe contracts for the money that's gigantic, say, and you have to play in All-Star games and you get a 10% bump if you win. And then all of a sudden everybody's going to be out there going hard again. But that might not work either. You got to find out what the players care about. I always think it's hilarious when they're like, just put money on the line. I'm like, do you realize how much money some of these guys have?
They used to do that with the Pro Bowl. Like winning team got X amount of dollars, losing team got a lesser share. They used to do that with the Pro Bowl.
Football's a little different because there are some football players that aren't making like ridiculous life-changing money that make the Pro Bowl. If you're an all-star in the NBA, you're making big money.
Oh yeah,
big money. What did Chris Paul retire with? Like $420 million in career earnings. I don't know if like put $250,000 on the line is going to get those guys jacked up. It would for all the rest of us, but they're not us. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, and thank you to all of our callers on a Monday Soundoff. Always enjoy hearing from you. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Omega. Their Omega boutique, which, by the way, was the official timekeeper of the Winter Games, their boutique is the largest of its kind in the country, the one that is in their Village District location of Bailey's Fine Jewelry. And when you walk in there, You see it all. You see the Moonwatches. You see the Speedmasters. You drift over a little bit. You see, that's right, the most famous movie Spy Watch, the Seamasters. They're right there in the case. You might have a Silver Snoopy. You might have a Panda. You might have a Reverse Panda. All of the unbelievable, iconic Omegas that you are expecting to see. Right there, Village District location in Raleigh. And that's in addition to the pre-owned and vintage Rolex, the Norcanes, the Blanc Pons, the Glacute Original, the best of the best brands. And then also the Omega Boutique, which is the largest of its kind in the country. So go ahead and stop out. Check it all out. Fox & Bailey Watch Shop and beyond. Main showroom and beyond. Just make sure they know you heard about it from me, Tim, right here on 99.9 The Fan. Again, it is Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location in Raleigh for all of the luxury timepiece needs, brands, wants, wish lists you could possibly imagine. Bailey's Fine Jewelry. We'll take a break. When we come back, UNC. They beat Syracuse over the weekend. Is that enough to get them right? Facing Louisville in a top 25 matchup tonight. Stick around.
Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eihander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
Canes Hockey is back. Grab an ice cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Canes. Only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles, so easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Official hard tea and lemonade of the Carolina Hurricanes. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
The shot, they score!
Be part of the loudest house in the NHL. Win tickets to see the Carolina Hurricanes take on the Pittsburgh Penguins at Lenovo Center on Tuesday, March 10th by visiting hurricanes.com/radio and registering to win.
Hey, it's Dennis Cox from my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I keep floating this number out there to people, and I keep saying it, and I'll say it again. 42 pounds. That's how much weight I lost. 42 pounds, over 15% of my body weight, thanks to the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And here's what Raleigh Weight Loss Center and their program does compared to so many other weight loss journeys. They focus on reviving your sluggish metabolism. That's exactly what they did for me. They jump-started my metabolism. That way I can burn off fat. I can lose all the weight that I needed to, but also keeping my muscle mass in the process. No shots, no injections, none of the side effects, just looking and feeling better. Why suffer through side effects that take away from your quality of life versus doing the Raleigh Weight Loss Center program to both look and feel your best? I haven't felt this good in years. 919-897-7506 or visit RileightWeightLossCenter.com. The first 50 callers get $100 off. 919-897-7506. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Before we talk a little college basketball, we have a nice little Monday night top 25 matchup featuring the Tar Heels. Before we do that, it's time for the final tally in the Wake Med Winter Games medal count from Italy. If you're talking total medals, if you're talking gold medals, it's all kind of the same because the top three is the same. Norway leads the way, total medals 41, USA in second with 33, Italy in third with 30. In gold medals, Norway leads the way with 18, United States in second with 12, and Italy ties with Netherlands, so Netherlands jumping in there, tie for third with 10. That is how it all broke down. It is Norway gold medals 18. That is a record by a single country in a single winter game, so they broke the record. 6 of them from one dude. United States, 12. That is a record for the United States in a single winter games. So the top, pretty darn strong, right? The little top heavy when it comes to gold medals. But I do think, like, there were a good amount, like Kazakhstan got a gold medal. Brazil got a gold medal.
Yeah, Kazakhstan in men's figure skating.
So I think while the behemoths, right, Italy, United States, Norway, Netherlands, Canada, Germany, while they did very well, there were enough kind of cool side conversations that I think it gave you the Cinderella feel when you needed it, and it gave you the Goliath feel when you needed it. And it's just a smaller deal than the summer games. The summer games have like 330, I think 329 events, and you're looking at somewhere below 150 in the winter games. So you're not going to get quite the volume of stories, but I thought it was a good games overall. And that is your overall tally for the Wake Med Winter Games medal count from Italy. They wrapped everything up yesterday evening. So it's all done. No more medals to pass out. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Some college basketball updates, a schedule update for you before we talk UNC. Due to the winter storm in the Northeast, Wake Forest men's basketball game against Boston College has been rescheduled to Wednesday.
Oh, they pushed it back a day. Okay.
So Wednesday, February 25th, 6 p.m. tip-off. Game will be televised on the ACC network.
Oh, snow going to be gone by then?
They'll clear it.
Yeah.
They'll get the plows out there, I guess.
I saw him in the Providence area, which is Rhode Island, not that far from Boston, that as of 1 o'clock this afternoon, they had 32.8 inches of snow in Providence.
32 is
32.8.
That'll shut some things down.
Yeah.
And that's not like...
Imagine that was here.
I was going to say, that's not like you get a couple of inches of snow in the south and things close down. That's like pretty much everywhere, 30-something inches will shut some things down. So for ACC basketball from the state of North Carolina, Wake Forest, Boston College rescheduled for Wednesday. 6 p.m. tip. There you go. Now let's talk Tar Heels. Carolina, over the weekend, beat Syracuse. 77-64. It was a ho-hum ACC victory from one of the top teams in the ACC against one of the bottom teams in the ACC. The story, many will make it out to be, Henry Vasar returned from injury after being a game-time decision. It was not certain that he was going to play in the game. He did, and he was good. Super efficient, almost 20 points, blocked some shots, did some good things, and I think kind of relieved Carolina, because my story was Vasar's return, but it was more what it allowed everybody else to do. Seth Trimble suddenly was shooting a good percentage. Luka Bogovac suddenly was shooting a good percentage, and they weren't forcing as many threes, and Jonathan Powell was like it. The perimeter looked better almost because I believe, right? This is the psychology of the game that we'll never know exactly. They looked better because they knew the game wasn't on them, right? If you look at Carolina, when both Caleb Wilson and Henry Vasar were out, and they got absolutely steamrolled by NC State, I think there was some bit of, well, I better score a bunch. I better do this because everybody's going to say whether we won or lost was because of me. And But when Caleb Wilson or Henry Vasar are in the game, those are the guys, right? They're the ones that get the win-loss tally next to their name, right? Caleb Wilson, Henry Vasar, if either of them are playing or if both of them are playing, if you lose, even if they had a huge game, it's them. Right? They're the leaders. They're the ones that the arrows are attracted to. So just the fact that Vasar was out there made everybody seem more calm. Now, it could also be they were playing Syracuse and maybe looking across the way and seeing one of the worst teams in the ACC made everyone feel calm. We'll find out which it was tonight, right? Because they're playing Louisville, granted at home, in a top 25 matchup. It's number 18 Carolina against number 24 Louisville. If they feel panicked in this one, if the perimeter is launching threes too early, if there's a bit of hero ball going on, then I'll go, oh, they were actually calmed down because they were playing Syracuse. But if I'm not saying they got to win, right? Good teams lose to other good teams. Louisville has some things going. But if they appear more calm, if the perimeter players are finding shots in rhythm, if they're taking good shots, and if they're making a good amount of them, then I'll go, all right, Henry Vasar is kind of he's their blanket. He's their thunder buddy, right? He's the one that makes everybody feel like they can relax, and that is worth its weight in gold. and I said this earlier, I'll say it again, a win against Louisville today, I think pays almost 2 times, like whatever the conversion rate is, 2 times the rate for your reputation and your seating, your status in the eyes of committees that make decisions. Because assuming Caleb Wilson comes back and plays and he's healthy, and by all accounts it appears like he will, he has not wavered in his social media posting from making everybody aware that he expects to come back and help his team. Assuming he comes back, the committee will give you the, all right, we understand you're better with this guy who's healthy now. So if you beat Louisville and you don't have him, that's a top 25 victory without a guy who's going to be given a, like when he plays, it's going to give you a big multiplier. The better you can play without him, the better the committee will assume you are with him. So a win against Louisville shows your ceiling, and then adding the idea of Caleb Wilson to a team that beat Louisville really, really jumps up in standings. It's crazy, right? And Dennis said it earlier. The women's college basketball is in their final week of the season, right? There's the men's basketball, what, you got 4 or 5 games depending on who you are.
Duke Carolina final game is Saturday next week.
It's
13 days away.
You don't have many opportunities to make statements to the committee. Carolina has 4 more regular season games. Louisville, Virginia Tech, Clemson, all at home, by the way. Then Duke on the road, but you don't have to travel. That's it, right? So if Carolina wants to jump up a couple seeds, couple lines in the NCAA tournament, if they want to send themselves with momentum into the ACC tournament, that's what you have, right? That's it. Sports, and I'd never really experienced this because I played football, and you start the season with like no games to play, right? You got 12 of them, and that's it. But in basketball, there is like okay, we've got time to figure it out. All right, we're still building chemistry. All right, by the time we get to conference play, okay, we're early in conference. It's like, no, there is no more like, okay, we still have time to show everybody what we have. No. Got 4 games if you're Carolina. Whether Caleb Wilson is available for any of them or not, these are your final, closing. I guess the ACC tournament would be your closing statements, but these are your final points to make. These are your final points to make, and Louisville is an opportunity because Louisville is good enough to continue being like quad 1. They're good enough to continue being nearly top 25, but I don't think they're, a true Goliath that you have to go slay. They're somewhere kind of right on that 25 mark.
They're 13th in the net.
Wow, that's even better.
Louisville, 13th in the net.
For sure, quad 1, even at home.
Yeah, easily.
I still, this is like, I look at them and I don't know if I usually agree with the analytics. I don't know if they're 13th. I think they're probably closer to 25, 27, which is still quad 1, still very good, still good for the ACC. But if you're Carolina, you better take care of business if you want that trophy fish on your wall.
Carolina's 27th in the net. NC State's 26, Virginia 15, Louisville 13, Duke 2.
Look at all of those opportunities. This would be, I think, it would go near the Virginia game as their second best win if they can pull it off.
Yeah, especially without Wilson.
Without Wilson against Louisville is probably similar to with Wilson against a better Virginia team to me.
Your next 3 games are at home. You're undefeated at home this season.
That'll be tested.
By the way, the remaining games at home tonight against Louisville, 7 o'clock, then Saturday at home against Virginia Tech, then home Tuesday next week against Clemson, then you go on the road to Duke. Those are all quad 1 or quad 2 games.
They also
could boost your resume tremendously.
Depending on where they go to the NCAA tournament, assuming they bust to Charlotte for the ACC tournament, they're not getting on a plane again.
Yeah.
Right?
They might take a little puddle jumper over to Charlotte, but that's really about it.
I don't think about things in like, hey, I played for Carolina way. They probably will take a little, 20-seater, something like that, just up and down.
They fly to Duke.
That'd be hilarious. Just to flex on them.
A helicopter?
Yeah.
That'd actually be funny.
Can we land outside Cameron? I hear you guys got a nice golf course. Can we land on the green?
Just land on Wallace Wade, just right there in the middle of the stadium.
Flex. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Carolina tonight, Louisville, 7 o'clock. Should be a really fun ACC matchup. The schedule has worked out swimmingly for us as just fans of sport. There have been a lot of really good games as we kind of ramp up towards the ACC tournament. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the starting 5 up next. And, yeah, we'll get to it. USA, USA, USA. Stick around.
Move your sports day forward.
Even with no moves by the Olympic roster freeze day, don't believe the Canes front office isn't answering the door on potential additions and seeing who's on the other side. You know that door knock, right? Sometimes it's the Girl Scouts with cookies. Sometimes it's a misdelivered package. If it's the latter, you hope you've got a good neighbor to work with and maybe you still get something out of it.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $12 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Tired of hearing this from your local tire place?
Sorry, we can't fix it. Take it to Dauntless.
This year, skip the middleman and take your car straight to Dauntless Transmissions if you want quality work done right the first time. Transmissions, engine, or brake work, or just a regular tune-up. If it's broke, Dauntless will fix it. For quality work done with the kind of experience that works for you, take it to Dauntless Transmissions first. Go to DauntlessTransmissions.com to book your visit today. Dauntless Transmissions, your local source for exceptional service.
Around here, folks like knowing who you're working with and that everything's handled the right way. I'm Amanda Mangum with Aspire Money Management. From enhanced planning to taxes to retirement, we do it all in-house. No runaround. A hometown firm helping North Carolina families plan what matters most.
Planning for the future is about more than money. It's about protecting the people you love. From estate planning to tax-efficient strategies, Aspire Money Management helps secure your family's future. Visit aspiremoneymanagement.net for a free analysis.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. It's a cold day out there today, still breezy at times, with temperatures staying in the 40s through the afternoon. And get ready for a cold night tonight. Mostly clear skies overnight tonight with low temperatures in the upper 20s.
5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones today down 821 points to 48,804.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget tonight, 7 o'clock, so about 2 hours from now, at the local, which you can go attend in person if you're out and about this evening. We have a Canes Corner. Jalen Chatfield, the guest of honor. Canes defenseman will be there, interviewed by Mike Maniscalco, and there will be Canes conversation galore. So if you want to get back in the swing of things, right, get back into Canes thinking, Canes ideas, Canes talk, Canes Corner is a really good place to do so. 7 o'clock tonight at the local, but even if you can't make it out, you can listen to it right here on 99.9 The Fan, as well as the 99.9 The Fan app, as well as the 99.9 The Fan YouTube live stream. And as I said last time for the Brandon Bussey episode, quite often at the end of the conversation, Mike Maniscalco does the "Let's see what the fans want to know from you" guest. So if you tweet at Mike Maniscalco questions you want Jalen Chatfield to answer, I can't guarantee they get answered, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So send the question to Mike and see if Jalen doesn't answer it, doesn't get asked it at least. The Driver, Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's tonight at 7. Right now at 5, it is the starting 5, brought to you by Ritchie Law Firm. Injury lawyers, Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com. That's RICCI law.com. As always, the starting 5 starts with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
For the final time for the 2026 Winter Games, it's time for the tally. It's time for the Wake Med Winter Games medal count from Italy. Norway, you got to tip your cap to Norway.
Well done.
So the winner goes the spoils. They led the entire games in total medals with 41, and they led the entire games in gold medals with 18. 18 is a new record for a single country at a single Winter Games. It helps when Klaipo, it's a very difficult name to pronounce. When one skier for you wins 6 golds in men's cross-country skiing at different distances and events, that helps a lot. Matter of fact, I can read them for you. Let me go ahead and get here. There it is. His name is Johannes Heisflat Kleibo. Apologize if that's incorrect on the pronunciation. He won gold medals in the men's 50-kilometer mass start classic. He won the 10-kilometer plus 10-kilometer skiathlon. He won the 10-kilometer interval start free. He won the men's spring classic. He won the 4x7.5-kilometer relay and the men's team sprint free. Six golds. Six of them. Good for him. The United States, second in both total medals and gold medals. 33 total medals, 12 gold medals. Italy, 30 total medals is third. 10 gold medals is tied with Netherlands for third. So that's how it all shook up. There's no more medals to give out. The Winter Games is done, and that's how it all stands. I do want to just read off, and I did this earlier, but I'll do it again. The gold medal winners for the United States. 12 gold, 11 different winners. Somebody won 2. You'll hear who. But gold medals, bringing them back to the U.S., that's everything. So shout out to the following. Breezy Johnson, women's downhill skiing. The best name for downhill skiing. Breeze. Just went with the breeze. Breezy Johnson. The entire team for team figure skating. Elizabeth Lemley, women's ski moguls. Jordan Stolz brought home 2 gold. The 1,000 meters and 500 meter speed skating men's golds. Alana Myers-Taylor. Vancouver was the first time she medaled. She is now the gold medalist for the first time in women's monobob. Michaela Schifrin, women's skiing slalom gold. Women's ice hockey got the gold in overtime over Canada. Alyssa Liu, women's figure skating gold. They did her way. Alex Ferreira, men's ski halfpipe. If you watched the coverage, he then had a good time with his friends celebrating. Mixed team ski aerials, which is a crazy thing to watch. There's a lot of spins and a lot of flips. And then, of course, the last medal awarded went to the United States. The gold medal for men's ice hockey. There are the 12 gold that helped the United States set a new United States high water mark for gold medals in a single Winter Games. And if you're wondering, yeah, Norway caught up to us in silver as well. I was joking that we were running away with the silver medal count. It finished 12 for Norway, 12 for the United States. Italy, the host country, racked up the bronze, 14 to lead the way. And that will do it for the Wake Med Winter Games medal counts from Italy.
Heck of a Winter Games.
heck of a Winter Games. I actually, not just from a although yes, from a red, white, and blue colored glasses standpoint, but from a story and narrative, and I thought it was a really good Winter Games. I learn so much every time the Winter Games come around because they're just not sports, not worlds that I traffic in often. And all I really hope is that I learn some, the United States wins a bunch of medals, and the stories are cool. That's the three things I'm looking for. Check, check, and check. Solid Winter Games. Way to go, Italy. Where are they next?
Winter Games?
Yeah.
French Alps. So southern France.
We'll see you in southern France in 2030. And LA in 2028 for the Summer Games. Clock's ticking. That is number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together. Let's do that hockey.
This was brought up to us by a caller earlier today, and it is worth noting the NHL trade freeze, the roster freeze that was going on during the Olympics is over. As of midnight last night, the most recently past midnight, the freeze is over. And that means there are 11 days until the NHL trade deadline. I expect them, whether we know about it or not, the phone calls will be fast and furious. There's some frenzied, just information gathering. How much is this guy? What would this cost be? Can we make it happen? Because while, fan bases, I believe, kind of, you go into a Olympic bubble, right? Where it's weirdly Seth Jarvis is part of the enemy, right? You go into this bubble where, did I just say great play Jack Hughes? What is going on with me? But yeah, you go into this bubble and you kind of exist. It's I don't know, it's like vacation time, right? It's just, you're strange when the Olympics are going on. GMs and everything have not, right? They probably watched and enjoyed the Olympics, but they're still working for the team that employs them, right? They could be on the phones discussing trades. They could be on the phones discussing what would you do? How would this sound to you? And because of that, I think there's probably a lot of possibilities out there, right? A lot of all right, just hear me out. And this isn't an official offer, but would something like this intrigue you? I think a lot of that's been said, right? And then they obviously counter with, well, if you threw on another first rounder, that'd be something that I'd bring to my boss. I'd consider it, right? So there's just a lot of these vague hear me outs that are out there. And whichever one of those eventually get over the finish line will be really fascinating. It's dangerous to give general managers just 2.5, 3 weeks of playtime, right? To go out there and. So what are you thinking about? It'll be interesting. I want to see what the trade deadline does.
Exactly that. You gave him time to think.
Which is good. Yeah, I guess you could paralyze yourself almost. But I think it's going to be an active trade deadline. I think it'll be frenzied at the end. I don't think it'll happen this first week, but next week, watch the heck out.
This one comes from Conebread. Conebread in our YouTube live chat asked, he wasn't able to call in during Monday Soundoff earlier today, but thoughts on Bradley Nadeau? Does he get a crack at the roster, or does he get traded?
I think both are a possibility, right? I think you're going to see what other team, if you're trading for somebody big, right? There's going to be certain, and by big, I don't mean size. I mean in status and stature. If you're making a trade, swinging for the fences, trying to get a dude, you're going to have to play to what they want, right? They might want somebody with NHL experience, in which case you're looking at the Jackson Blakes, you're looking at the Logan Stankovens, you're looking at some guys. They may want a true assassin goal scorer, in which case they maybe want Bradley Nadeau. Either way, there's a possibility where you have to trade, 2 or 3 NHL players for the one stud NHL player, and then you have to backfill the rest of your lineup with people that are either, other side trades or are already in your system. So could Jackson Blake get traded and then Bradley Nadeau has to come up and fill those skates? Maybe. Could Bradley Nadeau be traded? Maybe. Could none of that happen? Maybe. I don't think the organization is We actually did this exercise, I think, during the Olympic break. Like, who are the true untouchables? I don't think any of the guys I just mentioned are true untouchables for the Canes. You know what I mean? Like, none of those guys would be deal breakers from getting a dude. And with respect, there's a difference between a NHL starter and a dude, right? Like, I think I screamed that after Quinn Hughes scored the game winner in overtime for Team USA. Like, that's why you bring guys you don't want to trade into the trade talks. That's why you're willing to have a conversation about Nikishin, because he's that. Look at him, he's Quinn Hughes. Like, there's a difference between a dude, Quinn Hughes would be, and run-of-the-mill players. So, yeah, if you're getting a dude, Bradley Nadeau could be in that conversation a bunch of different ways. But it would have to be a dude.
I'd be more inclined to think that he would be traded than actually get a crack at the roster, especially this season.
I would agree with that. But it depends how big that fish is, right? If it's a gigantic fish and they say, we need Jackson Blake and... all right, like Bradley Nadeau, here you go. It's only for the 2,000-pound marlin, you know what I mean? And if you're like, they're not that big, I know, watch Social Network. Let's jump to number 3.
The Blue Devils get it in for Gungbo. Looking back door, the lob to Evans! And he dunks it down! What a play call out of the timeout!
Duke beat Michigan in that, ipso facto dubbed Final Four on Saturday, where Arizona, the number 4 team in the country, according to the AP poll, beat Houston, the number 2 team in the country in the AP poll. And then that game immediately flowed into Duke, the number 3 team in the AP poll, beating the number 1 team, Michigan. 68-63, the final score. Let's talk about that for a second. Michigan came into the game averaging over 90 points per game. They were one of the top 4 teams in scoring per game in the country. Duke held them to 63. 63 points. That's very, very good for Duke's defense, which has been their strength. No disrespect to their offense. Their defense has been better throughout the season. That's really good. And then you mix in some other things that give you confidence. Things like, and I brought this up earlier, they scored on every possession. Duke did. In every possession after the under 4 minute media timeout. Which is notable because, if I'm not mistaken, and I was trying to write this down during the game, Duke led the entire second half. And when that happens and it starts to kind of tense up and get tight at the end of the game, and Michigan, Lindenborg hit a 3, and there's some other plays happening. They got to the free throw line. When you just go down and score and score and score and just keep Michigan and arms distance, that's the killer instinct, right? That's not getting rattled by the opposing team making some plays. And I think that is a difference from some of their they've had 2. From their 2 losses this year, right? Against Texas Tech earlier on in their non-conference, and against Carolina, they had leads in the second half, considerable leads in the second half, and as they dwindled, they just didn't hit those consistent, good offensive possessions to keep the team an arm's distance. Against Michigan, they very much did that. Very much did that. So the defense played well. Their end-of-game execution was good. Some of their supporting cast stepped up in Cameron Boozer's foul trouble situation. It's a good win. In the scheme of things, does it mean much? No. Non-conference game, doesn't impact your ACC seeding. A loss to Duke, a loss to Michigan doesn't hurt you that much. So whoever wins, falls a slot or 2 from number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, likely to a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. Like, oh no. But as it stands right now, Duke is, for the first time in the regular season under John Shire, the number 1 team in the AP poll. If today were Selection Sunday, they'd be the number 1 overall seed. That and, what's a coffee go for now? That and $8 will get you a cup of coffee. It's not worth anything unless you finish out the season the way you should, win the ACC tournament. Then you will keep being the number 1 overall seed. That was actually, let me make sure I give you their next game. because they don't have a ton left either.
It's tomorrow, I believe.
Tomorrow at Notre Dame. Then they end with a little bit of a flurry here. Next Saturday, the 28th, versus Virginia at home, 11th in the country, Virginia. At NC State, you know what that game brings. And then home against Carolina. That's a testy little 3-game stretch to end the season. That's number 2. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us. One-on-one with Sadiq White. Boy, he had good position. Kicks it out to Vasar. Vasar to the cup for the tomahawk. Timeout, Syracuse.
That team that Duke ends with, number 18 Carolina, they got a real needed relief victory against Syracuse over the weekend. They did enough. And I'm not saying that like some kind of backhanded compliment. They did enough. Any team that is missing their best player, and Caleb Wilson is their best player and he's still out with the fractured hand. Any team that is missing their best player and wins by double figures on the road in conference, that's enough. Now you add in the fact that Henry Vasar came back from the injury he had been dealing with, and he scored almost 20 points, and he didn't have to play a boatload of minutes. I think he played 26 minutes. That's more than enough. You add in that Bogovac shot a decent percentage, and Trimble looked like himself again on offense after a real weird stretch following the game winner against Duke. There's some things that allowed Carolina fans to just exhale in a halfway decent manner, right? They had been hyperventilating since the NC State loss. Now they get Louisville tonight. That's not an easy task, right? Michael Brown Jr., Conwell, they've got some dudes that can absolutely take advantage of a perimeter that gets lost on defense, which Carolina's perimeter has gotten lost on defense a decent amount, right? And we've seen it rear its ugly head a good amount. So this is a good test. But also play loosey-goosey, knowing that Caleb Wilson is returning, right? And this one won't make or break your season, but thread the needle in. I think against State, they played like a team that knew they had an excuse, right? It's almost like halfway through the first half, they were going like, we didn't have Wilson and Vasar. What are we going to do? And it's like, well, there's still 30 minutes. You can go ahead and try to win this game. You're already like right in your butts. Obviously, Vasar will be playing. Caleb Wilson still won't be. At least not unless he does a full Willis read. But we're not expecting him to play. Which might give you a little bit of, like I said, a little bit of free-flowing, he's on the way back, but don't play like you have an excuse. Because I still think Carolina can win this game. I'll bring it up here.
Line in last saw was 2.5.
It opened at 1.5. This, according to DraftKings. Opened at 1.5. Louisville favorite. They're up to a 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5 now. Wow.
So Carolina, no one's believing in you. Give them the old speech, Hubert Davis. Give them the world's against you. They don't think you can win without Caleb. Or actually, Caleb give that speech.
You've got to be kidding me.
Actually, yeah, bring in Roy. He'll give him the speech. Get Michael Jordan on the Zoom call. He'll give the speech. Whatever he told the Daytona pit crew that won him the old Daytona 500. Give him the same speech. That is crazy. I know we talked about it, but it's still just Michael Jordan won the Daytona 500 as an owner. Riddle me that. Did the whole pit crew wear Jordans? I need to look into this. Do they have special pit crew Jordans?
They may have, actually.
Yeah, performance, I bet.
Yeah, I think they did. They're like a Jordan 10 or something like that, I think.
10?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be my first pick.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
The one! It's Werenski. Now Jack Hughes puts it around McCarr. United States with numbers. Back across it comes. Jack Hughes wins it! The golden goal for the United States! For the first time since the 1980 miracle, the United States takes the gold. Jack Hughes beating Jordan Bennington.
That's what it sounded like. USA men's hockey won the gold medal over Canada in overtime. And it had been since the Miracle on Ice that the United States had not won the gold medal in men's hockey. Been close. They've gone to overtime against Canada, but they've never been able to get over that hump. The United States did so yesterday morning. I want to be clear on this. After a regular season game, if you want to say things like, no, I liked everything that we did. I thought we were, playing a better brand of hockey and we're going to keep it rolling. Okay, I get you. I got you. Because you have other opportunities to prove that you're the better team. But when the hay is in the barn, when everything is done, when the games are over, the tournament, the pool play, when the closing ceremonies are kaput, guess what? There's only one thing that matters. Not high leverage chances. Not who had the puck possession. Not who had better looks or who missed. No, the only thing that matters is the final score. That's the way competition works. So I'm not here for, Team USA, Connor Hellebuyck got lucky. Nope, he did not get lucky. He worked his tail off his entire life to be prepared to stop 41 of 42 shots in the gold medal game. When Canada had more high leverage chances, great, they didn't convert them. The United States didn't need as many to get one more goal. The only thing that matters is the final score. And the United States beat Team Canada 2-1, and for that reason, they are immortal. And for that reason, Jack Hughes and Connor Hellebuyck and Charlie McAvoy and Jacob Slavin and the Kachuk brothers and Quinn Hughes, and you could list the whole Brock Faber and you could go on, Brock Nelson, you go on and on. They are immortal. And if you want to argue with it, there's nothing to argue with. Nate McKinnon let me make sure I get the entire quote correct here. The argument about, you tell me who's the better team. We don't have to. We don't have to. And I'll even read the full quote because I do think some people are taking it out of context a little bit. After the game, Team Canada superstar said, "It's been close for a while. They're an amazing team," talking about Team USA. "Skilled group of players. I just felt like it wasn't going to be. You guys can be the judge of who the better team was tonight, but they won, we lost." What do you mean we can be the judge of who the better team was? You can be the judge of who the better team was tonight, but they won, we lost. Putting "but they won, we lost" implies there's something else that could judge who the better team was. The whole thing of competition is if you win, you were better. And do you want me to go full miracle? Sure, if we play it 10 times, you might win 9 of them, but not tonight. Not this game, and that's the only one that matters. United States won the gold medal. Dennis, I saw you went tarps off for gold.
Yeah, I did.
Sunday morning. Give us your where's your head and heart about Team USA?
It was the game that we expected in the sense of it lived up to the hype.
For sure.
Everything about the game that was lived up. This is the most talented hockey game that you will see this year. In terms of just top to bottom guys on the ice are legit all-stars. And
as far as the guys that didn't play much, and you look at them and it's like, goodness gracious, that guy couldn't get ice time. And then you look at the guys that got ice time and you're like, that makes sense.
That guy. But that's the thing about that game is that it lived up to everything in terms of expectation and how we expected it to play out. Low scoring, tight, everything you wanted in the game. And it was wonderful. It was absolutely an awesome experience to share that with people as well. I know we've been looking forward to it for a long, long time. I know I really started getting into hockey when I was 10 years old. World Cup of Hockey, USA beat Canada in the World Cup of Hockey in 1996. That was for me getting into the sport at 10. I started playing, a few years after that. And then 2010, it's like, man, chance to win gold here. Coming up short in overtime. And finally had the chance to do it again. It was remarkable to see. It was a lot of fun, both the men's and women's side. It was wonderful. It was great.
I made this point earlier, but I think it's going to be really fun to see what stars 15 years from now are talking about I really got serious after I watched the United States beat Canada in Italy. Like that's when I realized, that's when I first picked up a stick, or that's when, I looked at my parents and I went, no, really, I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And because that happens in sports. You have these moments, you have these teams, these games, and it can completely change how a country or a society looks at a sport. It's pretty darn cool.
I think the question is going forward, we can have this conversation maybe even tomorrow, is how does the NHL and the PWHL capitalize on what the men's and women's teams here in the United States did with winning gold? How do both those leagues capitalize on it as opposed to, hey, remember when?
It needs to be star making.
Yeah.
Like the best thing about the Dream Team is Michael Jordan went on to win a bunch more championships. Best thing about the 99 U.S. Women's World Cup team is Mia Hamm went on to be the best soccer player in the history of women's soccer. But you need the best thing about for Canada, I'm sure, the 2010 gold medal golden goal was 22-year-old Sidney Crosby has gone on to back it up for the next 15 years. You need Jack Hughes to be a star, right? You need Jack Hughes to not just be, remember that guy that scored the game winner. It needs to be, he's been on television. He was on Jimmy Fallon last night, and he's scoring goals and being an all-star. You need that to continue happening for the United States.
Need that relationship with Tate McRae to keep going?
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
You need Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift vibes, right? You need that to keep happening. It's the marketing of the game. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We will grab some numbers game contestants, and we do have a new prize for you that you're going to laugh at. I'll tell you what that is right after you hear from Dennis.
Hey, Dennis Cocksher, real quick for my good friends over at Law Tiger. Speaking of capitalizing on opportunities, I need you all to capitalize on your opportunity to win a motorcycle. Yes, I said that correctly. Your opportunity to win a motorcycle. The Law Tigers are once again teaming up with your Carolina Hurricanes to give one lucky Caniac a custom Canes Ducati motorcycle, courtesy of Art Moto Garage and Shiny Side Paint. It's a V4 Ducati. It's absolutely gorgeous. Go to caniacsbike.com. Not only will you see pictures of the bike, but that's where you go to enter. It literally takes a minute. That's it. Just a minute. You can do it on your phone, do it on your computer. Don't do it while you're driving. Be safe. But in all seriousness, it literally takes a minute to go enter in. Go to caniacsbike.com. I've seen this bike in person. I fell in love with it the moment I saw it. I really did. I was like, I wish I could have this bike. The custom paint job by Shiny Side Paint, which is located right here in Raleigh, gorgeous. The Canes colors, the decals, the detailing of it, phenomenal. If you want to see the bike in person, just swing by Art Moto Garage. They're located right here in Raleigh. Trust me, you'll fall in love with it too. Go to caniacsbike.com, enter for your chance to win. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, needs numbers game contestants. Call in right now, 919-860-5326, to play the numbers game and potentially win some tickets to see the comedy stylings of Matt Rife, who is bringing his Stay Golden World Tour to the Lenovo Center on March 15th. That was the Lenovo Center is what I was trying to say. Matt Rife is bringing his Stay Golden World Tour to the Lenovo Center on March 15th. If you want to win the tickets, pair of tickets, you got to win them in the numbers game. Call in now. 2 contestants, 919-860-5326. Numbers game coming up next.
Listen for the Did He Just Do That?
Star to the cup for the tomahawk. Timeout, Syracuse.
Listen for the Get That Out of Here's.
McKinney into the paint, blocked by Brown from behind. Get that out of there.
Did he just do that?
Now Caleb Foster ahead to Evans and a dunk to say goodnight.
The road to Indianapolis runs through 99.9. The Fan, driven by Strategic Tax Resolution, Fairway Green, and Wake Med.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen
February
report.
is Heart Health Month, and I'm Tim Donnelly from 99.9 The Fan, joined today by Dr. Faisal Khan from Wake Med Heart and Vascular. Is there any type of warning sign that a person experiences before sudden cardiac arrest?
Well, if there is a history of murmurs, if there's a history of passing out and not knowing exactly what happened, if there's a history of sudden cardiac death in the family, or if you have an abnormal EKG, those could be indicators that you may have a problem with your heart. So make sure you talk to your doctor about if you have any of those things happen to you.
What are the warning signs for a heart attack?
So if you're getting more short of breath, you climb a flight of stairs and you're getting short of breath, you have tightness or sensation of books on your chest or heaviness on your chest. If you're having dizziness, those could be signs that you may have problems with the blood flow to your heart, which could lead to heart attacks. If you're not feeling well, don't sit at home. We see that too many times.
Act fast. Dr. Khan, appreciate you taking the time today.
My pleasure.
Go to wakemed.org to find a cardiologist near you or to learn more about your heart's health. The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. And as always, we have an awesome prize. Matt Rife, Comedy Stylings. He's bringing his Stay Golden World Tour stand-up comedy to the Lenovo Center on March 15th. We have a pair of tickets going to the winner, which will be either Carson in Raleigh or Micah in Morrisville. Those are the two battling it out with jersey number trivia. As always, we'll bring them each onto the show one at a time, ask them the same question. Dennis will pick his favorite answer, and that person will get to go first. We'll start with Carson in Raleigh. Carson, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, Carson. We often have the same question on Monday, and we'll use it today. We just finished up a weekend. What was the highlight of your weekend? But because we are a sports station, try to keep it sports related. Are you there, Carson?
Oh, my sports highlight was Carolina beating Syracuse without Caleb Wilson.
All right, Carolina beating Syracuse without Caleb Wilson. Dennis, any follow-ups? No, you are good to go. Carson, your answer is locked in. We go to Micah in Morrisville. Micah, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, same question to you. It is a Monday, just wrapped up a weekend. What was the highlight of your weekend? But because we're a sports show, make sure it's sports related.
No brainer. U.S. hockey beating Canada, both men's and women's.
U.S. hockey winning gold. Dennis, any follow-ups?
None.
All right. Then what are you rolling with? Carson goes Carolina beating Syracuse without Caleb Wilson. Or Micah rolled with the U.S. hockey gold winning overtime victory over Canada.
He shouted out both men's and women's. You know, because the
true.
women's game was on, I believe, was on Thursday.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts as the weekend.
The men's game happened over the weekend. It's been a long time since we won gold. I got to go with the golds. Here. Got to go with the golds.
Micah gets to go first. Carson, don't worry. You will have your chance. Just have to sit on hold for a minute or two. Micah, are you ready to pick your category?
Yes, sir.
All right. The categories are NFL, Panthers throughout history, NFL, V4, their last name. V is the first letter in their last name. NBA players that played in the Paris Summer Games, or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
Hurricanes throughout history.
All right. I had a feeling. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There will be 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Do you have any? And I will say the team in this category, even though we know it, just to keep it fair timing-wise with the other categories. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No questions.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Jordan Martin of Carolina Hurricanes.
48.
Correct. Jesper Foss, Carolina Hurricanes.
71.
Correct. Jake Bean, Carolina Hurricanes.
24.
Correct. Stephen Rice, Carolina Hurricanes.
Skip.
Sheldon Rempel, Carolina Hurricanes.
28.
Incorrect. Stephen Rice, Carolina Hurricanes.
29.
Incorrect. Sheldon Rempel, Carolina Hurricanes.
12.
Incorrect. Stephen Rice, Carolina Hurricanes.
12.
Correct. Sheldon Rempel, Carolina Hurricanes.
18.
Incorrect. Sheldon Rempel.
I have no idea.
Give one more guess. Let's just see for kicks and giggles.
19.
That would not. You love the teens. Number guesses on a jersey. Either way, you got 4 out of 5. That is a solid number, and you will be the leader in the clubhouse. For those of you playing at home, Rempel was 41, is what we were looking for. 4 out of 5. Solid number to start off the week, though. That brings us to Carson and Raleigh. Carson, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL players, Panthers throughout history, NFL players whose last names start with the letter V, or NBA players that played in the Paris Summer Games.
I'm going to go with NBA players who played in the Paris Summer Games.
Okay, I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There will be 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. You do need all 5 for the win, so go as fast as you can all the way to the end. There's some popping and a little bit of static on this line, so if I say it again, just say it again. Don't ask what. Don't try just say it again because it's still for time, but I need to make sure I hear you correctly, okay?
Okay.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Jason Tatum, Boston Celtics.
0.
Correct. Josh Giddey, Chicago Bulls.
13.
Incorrect. Trey Lyles, Sacramento Kings.
Skip.
Kaman Malawash, Phoenix Suns.
Skip.
You can't skip.
20.
Incorrect. Josh Giddey, Chicago Bulls.
30.
Incorrect. Trey Lyles, Sacramento Kings. You know what? It's funny. You obviously didn't get the win, but hopefully you had some fun. But for Giddey, you knew there was a 3 involved. You went 13, you went 30. Your memory's playing tricks on you because it's number 3 is what we were looking for. Just 3. You were thinking maybe a little over the top. But again, you got 1 with Jason Tatum. Unfortunately, not enough. But hopefully you had some fun, Carson.
Okay.
All right. Try again another day. For those of you playing at home, Giddey was 3, as I mentioned. Trey Lyles, 41. Kaman Malawash out of Duke, who played for South Sudan in those Olympic Games, number 10 with the Suns. Lyles played for Canada, Giddey, Australia, by the way. And then obviously Tatum for Team USA and wears number 0 for the Celtics. Although some Celtics fans and Duke fans out there would be like, didn't play enough. They had him on the bench a whole bunch. Tatum should have played more. Maybe.
Do you have a gold around his neck?
Yeah.
Job well done.
Yeah. Sacrificed for the betterment of the team. How you like that? The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Credit to Micah and Morrisville for the win. Micah, you'll never forget Sheldon Rempel's number again.
I don't even remember what you said.
All right, well then, you know what? Thanks for making my point sound really, really dumb then. Thanks, Micah. Couldn't just go along with it. 41 is what you were looking for.
All right.
But you do get the Matt Rife ticket, so go ahead and stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs. Micah knows how to do this. He's a frequent flyer of the numbers game and got the win right there. Hockey, definitely his sweet spot there. Speaking of hockey, 3 Carolina Hurricanes ended up on the podium in men's hockey. Jacob Slavin, gold medalist. Seth Jarvis with Team Canada, Slavin with Team USA. Seth Jarvis, Team Canada, silver medalist. And Sebastian Aho and his team Finland won the bronze medal game, which took place on Saturday. What can those 3 bring back from Italy to help out the Canes? We'll talk about it next right here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Adam Gold Show.
The Wolfpack were super impressive in the win over North Carolina. There is no denying that. They did it the right way. They defended very well, especially in the half court. They got the ball inside. Copeland was dynamite, got a big game out of their best player. But ultimately, did we learn anything about toughness? Did we learn anything about overcoming adversity? Because they ran North Carolina off the floor from the jump.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
6 billion fans, 48 teams, 1 World Cup. Lenovo is proud to partner with FIFA World Cup 2026, bringing next-level technology straight to the pitch. From powering smarter play on the field to delivering heart-pounding experiences in the stadium, at home, and everywhere you watch. This is football. When the world's game meets world-class tech, the game changes. Learn more at news.lenovo.com.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news.
The shot, they score!
Be part of the loudest house in the NHL. Win tickets to see the Carolina Hurricanes take on the Pittsburgh Penguins at Lenovo Center on Tuesday, March 10th by visiting hurricanes.com/radio and registering to win.
This is what WRAL weather coverage sounds like.
Thunderstorm warning right now in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
When your safety is a priority.
An indication that there is a tornado on the ground, so get in your safe spot
in this area, get in your safe spot right now.
With the tools that make a difference.
WRAL Storm Tracker is inside the storm.
WRAL has the only dual Doppler radar in Wake County.
Hear it and see it every day.
It looks like the storm is doing exactly what we predicted to do.
That's WRAL News. Weather coverage you can count on.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. All right, USA Hockey won gold. Let's go, right? Few things I'm going to point out before we start talking about the Carolina Hurricanes that were on the podium, right? With Team Finland and Sebastian Aho bronze, Team Canada and Seth Jarvis silver, and then obviously Jacob Slavin and Team USA gold. There's a lot of talk about Team Canada and Canada fans not being happy that the game was settled in 3-on-3, right? Because that's how overtime was known, that everybody knew that's how it was going to finish, and apparently they got surprised, even though they went to overtime games earlier in the tournament. They were surprised and confounded and angry when the gold medal game went to overtime and it was 3-on-3. NHL writer for Sportsnet, Michael Amato, put this stat out there. In 183 minutes and 3 seconds of game action during the medal rounds, during the knockout stages, Team Canada led for just 6 minutes and 5 seconds.
That's it?
3 minutes and 3 seconds of that 183 minutes and 3 seconds was 3-on-3. You can whine about the 303, or you can be accountable for the 180 that was played 5-on-5 or traditional advantages and disadvantages on power plays. That's your choice, Canada. There it is. You can whine about the 3-on-3, which was played for 3 minutes and 3 seconds of your medal rounds. Or you can look at the 180 that was played at 5-on-5. And total, you only led for 6 minutes and 5 seconds. With that roster, with all those high leverage chances, with McDavid and McKinnon and McCarr and Celebrini and all these guys, you led for 6 minutes and 5 seconds. Maybe don't be mad at the format. A little internal discussion about what went wrong. Why did you only lead for 6 minutes and 5 seconds? Team USA led for more than 6 minutes and 5 seconds, 5-on-5 against you in the final. Second thing I want to point out, this is just small world, and I read it during the break, and I can't even wrap my head around it. So Tommy Kendall on Twitter has some relation to Dale Jr., Dale Earnhardt Jr. And they're doing some looking, meaning the Dale Juniors and the Tommy Kendalls are doing some looking into what 3D printing, I promise this comes back to Team USA, 3D printing can do for the racing world. So they're told, and Tommy Kendall is told, hey, if you're interested in that, they tweeted about it. If you're interested in that, you should follow this guy. He has a great YouTube channel. So they follow him. And he's considered a 3D printing expert. Turns out this 3D printing expert with the YouTube channel used to race stock cars and is like, great, I would love to help you. This is crazy. Dale Jr. wants to know. Oh, yeah, of course. His name, this 3D printing expert, Chuck Hellebuck. He's Connor's dad.
Oh, there you go.
That's just like, yeah, I had a pretty good weekend. I'd love to help you out. Yeah, my son became a national hero and is still partying with everybody, celebrating a gold medal. But what questions do you have on 3D printed fenders, Dale Jr.? I'd love to help you out. This is a small world. That's a crazy story. Absolutely insane. All right, let's talk about the Carolina Hurricanes that played in Italy. And we'll start with the bronze and we'll work our way up. Sebastian Aho, Olympic bronze medalist with Team Finland. He was one of their alternate captains, right? So that is, you know, it's similar to what people are hoping happened with like Hellebuck for Winnipeg, right? Like, okay, he got the big game experience that he can now bring back, and maybe the rap will be a little different. In games where it mattered, right? Olympic games matter. Sebastian Aho played 6 of them for Finland, 4 goals, 2 assists, had a +4 rating, drove his team to a bronze medal. Mikko Rantanen, who obviously is a pretty good player for Finland, did not play in the bronze medal game. Aho got the scoring started. Alexander Barkov did not play in the entirety of the tournament, right? Which is obviously a pretty big gap at some pretty important places. And all of that is experience as a leader. All of that is experience as a big-time player. I loved what this Olympics could mean for Aho. And it didn't go perfect. Don't get me wrong, right? They probably feel like they let one slip through their grasp against Canada in the quarters, or sorry, in the semis. Having that 2-goal lead and not being the team to advance probably stings. But I love that lesson was learned wearing a different jersey than the Canes, right? Like, you don't want him to have one fall through his fingers with the Canes, but you still benefit from that. And I talked about this last week, but I'm very excited for the next 2.5 to 3.5 years of Sebastian Aho. Right? He's still late 20s, mid to late 20s in age. Body's still holding up well. He still moves well. And I believe the Olympics were the last finishing touches on this guy has played so much hockey. Right? He was promoted to the NHL club, and he was given a huge amount of responsibility early. He's been around a ton of different guys. He's been in international competitions, the 4 Nations, the Olympics. He's seen everything. That Canada team, what else can you see, right? Like, he's seen everything. And this is where the overlap starts. Right? I talk about how athletes, every aging athlete I've ever talked to, and I say aging, right? Later in their career, talks about how if I could only know now what I knew, if I could only know everything I know now, back when my body was still young, I'd be the best player ever, right? I know it's so much easier. I see the game so much better. I know so much more. And in reality, that doesn't happen for very long. You have a small overlap where your body is still strong and your brain knows everything. That's the sweet spot. That's a peak, a prime, whatever you want to call it. I think Aho is about to enter it. And I'm excited for the next 2.5, 3 years. All right, let's bump up one spot on the podium. Seth Jarvis, Team Canada. Not asked to do nearly as much as what Sebastian Aho was asked to do for Finland. In the games that he drew in, for the most part, You're looking 13th forward minutes, right? They have the extra forward active in the Olympics. He skated for 7 minutes and 59 seconds in the gold medal match, the gold medal game. That is 7 minutes and 59 seconds of great experience that he wasn't sure he was going to get. Right? He was a late call-up injury replacement for Team Canada, and that's only good. That's only good. If he played 2 minutes, that's 2 great minutes. Right? If that's, and by the way, like he and Aho, they like there were hits against each other. He was chasing Slavin. Like he was out there and looked the part. Obviously, if you look at that Team Canada roster, minutes are not easy to come by. It's not, there's not a lot of, well, I'm better than him. Like there's not a lot of that. But also the practices, being around those guys. There's a lot of elite competition. There's a lot of trophy winners in that locker room. And I'm talking individual and also of the cup variety, right? There's a lot of trophy winners in there that you want to hang out with. What's the cliche? You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? That's like the motivational speaker talk. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, guess what? The 5 people Seth Jarvis spent the most time with over the Olympic break was very different than they would have been if he wasn't picked to Team Canada. I think he's going to come back a more mature player with some new tricks up his sleeve and potentially a new confidence having skated with those guys for the entirety of the deal, and maybe a little angry because, silver medal doesn't taste as good as gold. So sorry. I'm glad to now be rooting for Seth Jarvis again. It was weird being enemies. And then Jacob Slavin on Team USA. I think it was the most Slavin performance, right? Just doing all the little things, just helping a penalty kill that was perfect. Just like even with Quinn Hughes and Zach Werenski taking a lot of the blue line headlines for Team USA. Slavin's like, you're good. I'll just do the dirty work. You guys get the highlights. I'll just shut down the opponent. How you like me now?
Just plays his role.
It's unbelievable, but it's playing his role. But I don't want to make him out. Ready for this? This is like a bar. He's playing a role, but he's not a role player, right? Like it's not. Oh, when he's out there, you're just trying to get by. You're just trying to play your role. No, when he's out there, he's really gosh darn good. And I think maybe the best news for the Carolina Hurricanes is they got that contract extension signed right before 4 Nations and Olympics, because every time this guy plays with a Team USA, he leaves with this, like, everyone feels like they discovered something new, right? Everyone's like, oh, let me tell you about Jacob Slavin. And it's like, you're not discovering like a band passing out cassettes and they turn out to be the Rolling Stones. Like, this is a team, like you discovered a band that already plays arenas. Like, oh, and just stumbled into them, did you? Like, that's what's going on. And when that happens, prices go up. Do you know what I like, though, even more for Slavin? He's not the youngest guy on the Canes, right? He's one of the few, 30-somethings. I don't know what the future looks like. He might not be picked for the next Olympics.
No, not be.
This might have been his only chance to go get a gold. And he absolutely did that, right? And I want him to have that on his resume. You know what I mean? I want him to have that. There's only a handful of, and he doesn't have it yet, but there's only a handful in USA history that have both a USA gold medal from an Olympics and a cup. And I like, if Slavin throws himself on that list, and it's a big if, right? The Canes have to go take care of the second part. But if he does, that starts to be the things that gets you the recognition you deserve for a traditionally unsung player. I don't want him to be unsung. I want him to sing. Gold medal helps that. Mr. Gold Medal, Jacob Slavin, to you. I'm going to continue sparring with Canada fans on Twitter because it's fun, because they can't say anything to me because Team USA won. I wouldn't fight back if Canada won. I would be very quiet, but that's not how they're choosing to operate, so I'm having a good time with it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have Overdrive coming up next, where we will talk more USA hockey. USA. And we'll also get to an individual of importance to sports fans in the state of North Carolina that made $100 every second throughout the entire year of 2025. That is every second of every minute, of every hour, of every day of 2025. You'll have to find out who. It's been a fun Monday. We'll be back tomorrow for a Tuesday edition of the show. Enjoy Overdrive. Enjoy Kane's Corner at 7 with Jalen Chatfield. See ya.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Every team has the ability to do it. I hope all 30 teams could learn from that.
They are spending and acquiring every star